This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets!
Morning, June. How are you?
I'm blessed, brother. Good morning.
Amen, bro. Back at you.
Yes, indeed. Did you get a chance to watch a little bit of that what I sent you earlier?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't agree completely. We'll get into it though. I just don't think you can have, all these draft picks in 1 year. I mean, the Jets did it with three the 1 year, and I mean, it worked kind of. Well, it worked, but it didn't. You know, I mean, it kind of did change the team, right? Brees,
Yeah,
Jermaine.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You,
Yeah,
you could do that. You could have at least minimum three first round draft picks that change the face of your organization because it's been shown already. But with the pro, the con is you will have to pay these people. But
yeah, but
you'll
it's
worry
five
about that.
years down. Right, it's 5 years
Right, like I
down the
said,
road.
you'll worry about it when you get there. So that's what I'm saying. You got to do it, man.
Yeah, I'm just not there.
You don't want to do it.
I'm just not there yet. I mean, I'll admit, you got to try and recoup some stuff, but I think you got to wait until the off season. I mean, the guys that are expiring, yes, but the other guys, I think you still got to wait because there's more value in the off season.
Now, see, by
Like,
you
look,
doing,
well, wait, but June, do you think like even for Tyreek Hill's purpose, do you think the Chiefs? They would have never traded him in season, but do you think they would have got what they got for Tyreek like they did in the offseason? No way.
see, the thing is this though, Petey. By you not doing it in season, you run the risk of what if they get hurt?
Well, you got to take that gamble.
Nah, it's not worth it, bro. It really isn't. Not to mention, after this season, who's to say that they won't request the trade?
Well,
And
if
once
they,
once that player requests the trade, you lose leverage. So now so now you asking for a second, third round. I mean a second or a first round. Now they like, well, he want to get traded anyway. So if I'm gonna give you a third round. I'm gonna give you a third round pick.
yeah, June, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just not trading everybody. You need people to build around. Who are you going to build around?
But at the same time, the people who you're thinking about keeping, it's coming time that you have to pay them. And what are they really
Well,
doing?
yeah, you're going to have to pay somebody, though.
No,
That's the thing.
you don't have a good enough team to sit there and accolade $30 million to. Your team is not that good. So with that being
Okay.
said, you got to build the team first. And I'm not building with them. It's time for me to pay them. And regardless of what we thought Garrett was, he's not that.
Here we go. Here we go.
I,
Good
I
morning.
think Garrett is good morning. I think Garrett's a keeper, though, June. I
Look,
do.
look, I hear you, but the facts that we have is every time played against a good top 10 corner, he's been erased.
Well,
The
I think
look.
he did good the last two games for sure. He had
Okay,
a good game in
he,
Minnesota.
he had a good game in Minnesota. He had a good game in Minnesota. They forced him. How many targets did they force at him?
Yeah, but June, I I don't know if I'm down with this yet. You can't trade every one of your young guys. You just can't, man. This isn't baseball.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. And we just seen it with Miami. Miami has wide receiver one making 30, 34, 35 million, whatever the extension they gave him. Wide receiver two making $28 million.
Yep,
They lost their quarterback, right? He got hurt, right?
yep.
So from up until the point where Tua got hurt till last week, what did the wide receivers do with no quarterback?
A
It doesn't
question when
I
matter,
you look,
I
June. Question for
I
you:
agree.
right?
how is
And
that
then
sustainable long term? Having those receivers paid for, if you don't have the
You don't
team
have a
like
quarterback.
quarterback.
Yeah, that's my point. With why sign Garrett and give him that when you don't even have an answer at
right,
quarterback?
all right. But June, to be fair, okay, I see what you're saying here. I was going to say something and I just caught myself because Tua. They thought Tua was the guy. and there's certain Dolphin fans that don't think Tua is going to
Right.
play,
Hey,
for
Petey and
long.
Juna, I think the bigger conversation a lot of people want to talk about, and they either say you're either an anomaly top five guy or you suck. There's no in between. And how I think a lot of front office and these general managers view these guys is there are certain things that some of these quarterbacks can do, even though they're middle of the pack, and they have to try and make it work and roll with them as franchise quarterbacks. Because it's not, you could sit there and search forever for a guy that's a top five guy, but at the end of the day, you're going to sit there and miss more than you hit.
Right.
Teams go for decades trying to find the
Yeah.
But
Mahomes,
Trust me,
Lamar,
Zach,
we
jump
know.
in. Just jump in, Zach.
you know what the crazy part is, man? That Flores wanted Justin Herbert, and
Yes. Yes,
and
he
that
did.
staff, like Flores had his own staff that that made the evaluations, and they said Tua is going to have more limitations compared to
Yes.
Justin Herbert,
Yes.
and Chris Greer with his staff overrode it.
And Chris Greer should. I mean, I don't wish anybody fired, but Chris Greer should not have a job right now.
He should not have a job.
But June, hold on real quick, and then Zach, just jump in. June, you have to have some type of, like people wanting to see that there's
core.
Pete,
extensions here.
but Pete, listen to what I'm saying.
You got to retain a core. You got to retain a core.
Correct. Correct.
Listen to what I'm saying.
June,
If,
wait,
if,
I'm listening. I just got to mute because I'm going in
all right,
a place real
all
quick.
right.
All right.
I'm not allocating 25 plus $1 million for a wide receiver when I don't even have an answer at quarterback. I'm not doing that. We just seen what happened for the past month with Tariq Hill and Jalen Waddle and that offense. They had no quarterback. I think. Wait, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Tariq Hill even had 35 yards during the month. When you don't have a quarterback, you can't get him the ball. So
Devontae
why would I
Adams.
sit there and allocate that? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, Devontae got traded to the Raiders with that. Got traded, to you guys, had a massive contract, but didn't
Yeah,
have the quarter. Well, once Derek Carr was gone, didn't have the quarterback throwing the football. So what's the point? Get
exactly.
rid of him.
So you get what I'm saying. Why would I sit there and pay that man $30 million when I don't even know who's throwing him the ball? The quarterback, the future, the Jet future quarterback might not even be in a building right now. Why would I do that? Even more or less, why would he even agree to that?
Hey, good morning, June. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Petey. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Hey,
Zach.
I got a quick question for you. So obviously, like, do we know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back, and also, like, if he is coming back, do you think that Devontae Adams will come back as well?
Yes. Devontae. Yes.
If Aaron comes back,
If
of
Rogers
course,
comes back,
of course.
but
But at the same time, I gotta ask the question again. If you a reputable, good head coach, why the fuck are you coming to the Jets? No, you got to deal with this shit.
True, true.
A, a,
I can't
a
believe
good
Zach. Welcome to the space, man.
a good coach is gonna a good reputable coach is gonna want to get his own guys. And you gonna tell me, all right, I gotta deal with this shit for 1 year, my first year? I'm not dealing with this shit. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
A good reputable coach is gonna have options anyway.
And then I got a couple other questions too. So, like, obviously, do does the quarterback have a big role? I obviously know, like, the quarterback has a huge role with the play calling and everything else, but, like, to get his troops together. But, like, is it the offensive line that, like, is struggling, or is it just the quarterback? Is it the receivers? Like, what what's what's wrong with the Jets? Like, why are they just falling apart? Is it kicking? I mean, there could be a lot of reasons.
It's definitely
I'll
kicking.
let Petey answer this question. I've kind of inserted a lot of it is running the football, man. A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it is running the football and the offense of what they expect the offense to be versus what they are. It's very hard for any quarterback to sit there and dot up a defense when he doesn't have a run game. It's very, very hard.
And I just found out that Aaron is
I'll let you go.
like when I just found out recently that some of the plays that are coming in, Aaron is like waving off. I
Not even
mean,
the audible, like just the actual plays
yeah,
that are
the
coming in.
actual plays. That's why the plays are coming in late, and we're getting this. We burning timeouts and shit and getting these delayed games. He's waving. He's the actual play, Jarek. He's waving off. Come on, bro. Then they offered it. They said keep a tight end in to help Smith. He said no, and he ended up getting sacked. Come on, man. Like this is all. This is a shit show right now. It's a shit show. And if we lose Thursday night, blow the fucking team up, man. You got to do it. You have to.
Uh,
Who are you guys playing
June.
Thursday?
Wait,
Houston.
Houston. Neil, jump in, and then I want to respond to you, June. I'm ready.
Yeah. I was just going to kind of agree with June a little bit there, where like it's for me, it's not only just finding the quarterback. You also have to find a way to protect that quarterback, right? You have to have an offensive line. We've seen so many young quarterbacks get shell shocked
Oh my
because
God.
they get
Yes, Neil.
inferior offensive line. They take too many hits. You got to hit both, and it's really hard. And I think the best way to do it is to have as many draft assets as possible to do
Thank
it. Using the Miami example that Jarek brought up as an example in 2020, Brian Flores did not want to number one. The quarterback he wanted wasn't Herbert; it was Jordan Love. He loved Jordan Love, and he really wanted Jordan Love. But we came in at pick 18. We drafted Austin Jackson, who's a serviceable right tackle, but like he's not gonna, he's not helping build a wall. The guy they wanted was Tristan Wirfs, who went 4 spots ahead. And then they drafted Robert Hunt in the top second round. So they tried to build the offensive line around him, and it just didn't pan out to the liking. But I say Garrett Wilson is the guy that I would retain if I was the Jets. But if it was like a Brees Hall, a Sauce Gardner, I'd at least listen to offers on those type of players. Keeping a guy that could be a great security blanket for whoever the next receiver is, like Garrett Wilson, I think is paramount. You got to have at least one guy that they can go
Well,
to.
Neil, that's what I'm saying real
Yeah,
quick, June. Neil, just let me, like, June, even if you blow it up, which if they completely blow it up, if I'm the Jets, I just play Jordan Travis next year and have Tyrod back him up and just play. And if you lose and you get the first pick, you got Manning coming out the next year and all that. So who knows? I don't even know, but I'm saying you need players.
Pete.
You can't just get scrubs.
well, you know what
Pete. My point is this: is Gary elite? Simple yes and no.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
How do you call him elite if he's covered by a top 10 corner, he disappears? You can't call him elite. Look, I understand we Jet fans and we get, we fall in love with players. Face the fact, he's not elite.
You know what though, June? I'll say like I think elite is Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, C.D. Lamb, and
Right,
then
right.
I think there's a tier below it. But like for example, as bad as our passing game was when Tua was out, like I wanted to pay Jalen Waddle because he's still young, and I want him to be a part. And I think he's in that next tier, and I think Garrett Wilson. You could make a top 10 list where he's 10, 11, 12. He's in that range. Like for me, he's part of the solution, not part of the problem. If they did keep, PD, I like what you said because I think that if you're going to try to achieve getting the best quarterback possible, maybe the way to do it is to be a little bit patient. Where if the Jets do have a top 10 pick again this year, maybe you don't pull the
Yep.
trigger on a quarterback if one of the guys you don't want there is. Maybe you double down like you did last year. You draft an offensive tackle like Will Campbell from LSU. Then you have your bookends between Fashanu and Will Campbell, and you can build a wall in front of that quarterback that you draft in the first round of 2026. I think that's a good route to go, but I think you need to have Garrett Wilson on the outside there. Devontae Adams, I think if it's over, I'd move on from him if you're not bringing Rodgers back. And then I would explore what I could get for Sauce Gardner because I do think it's not that his play has declined drastically. I think teams are targeting him more. Those penalties that everyone kind of said that weren't getting called are starting to get called on him a little bit. And I think he could.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think he could fetch you a
A
first and a
first round
high
pick.
second. And when you have those and you're going to a rebuild, those extra draft picks are paramount.
Okay.
No, Neil, I get it.
Now, Neil, let me ask
Go
you this
ahead, June,
question.
and then we'll let everybody jump in. Guys, you don't have to raise your hand. Just jump in when you can,
Neil,
please.
all right. Now, Neil, you being a Miami fan, right? For the past month, you've seen what you got arguably the best wide receiver, arguably the best number 2 wide receiver, and they got no ball, no action, nothing because you didn't have a quarterback. So why would I allocate elite money for a wide receiver that's not quite elite yet, and I don't even have an answer at quarterback?
Yeah, June, and I'll get death threats for any Dolphin fans listening in the base. I'm at a point for me personally where I think you got to try to find a way to move Tyreek Hill if you're the Dolphins at this deadline. And you might not even get maximum return on investment. But for me, you're paying this guy quarterback money. He is the best player on this football team. He's starting to get a little bit unhappy. There's a lot of chirping behind the scenes going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to move on at some point from him. And I'm on record for saying this. The Dolphins have an out after this year with Tua.
I was just about to
man,
ask.
because I do.
I was just
Yeah,
about to ask that. Okay.
I probably like Tua more than most people in this room, and a lot of it comes before he's a Dolphin for my draft evaluation. But I'm not moronic enough to ignore the availability concerns, and
Yeah,
I do think he's one concussion away from really being done. And if you have that like dice that you're rolling on a week to week basis, like I don't know if you guys saw, he slid in the game this week after a
Yeah,
12-yard run,
I
and
watched it.
the crowd was going crazy. If your crowd has to react like that because your quarterback slid, like there's so, you know what I mean, then that behavior is not going to, it's not going to be consistent, man. So I'm on record, June, to saying the Dolphins actually have to tear this thing down to the studs, no half measures. And, I think we missed our competitive window because we had to start paying all the players, Tua,
Yes,
Tyreek,
yes.
Ramsey,
Yeah.
Waddle.
yeah.
Once
June,
the window closes at a point.
June. To be fair, I don't think Garrett's gonna get elite money. I think he's gonna get like Devontae Smith money, which is fine. But out of all those guys, I think you got to keep him because I mean, if we're gonna rebuild, I mean, we need. It's harder to find a receiver than it is to find a
I don't.
Well,
corner.
yeah,
Wait,
but
wait, no, wait,
He's
wait,
Anthony,
not.
wait,
and
wait,
that,
wait, 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 wait. But Ed, at that, it's harder to find a quarterback
yeah,
than anything
yeah, but
else.
He.
Well, yes,
June, you
but we
don't
need
have to pay
something.
it. But if you're
We need something
rebuilding,
for the
guys,
quarterback. So
yes. If
I
it
would keep
June,
Garrett. If
go ahead.
hold on, Petey, let me
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
No, I I think out of all the guys, that Ford draft, you got to keep Garrett. He's not going to get top money. Like I said, he'll get like Devontae
He's
Smith
gonna get
money.
top money.
He's not going to be.
He's gonna get top
He's
He's
not.
money.
gonna get top.
He's not going to be. He's not going to get paid like a top 5
So
receiver.
No,
so
but
Garrett may get 25, 30 million. The top is 36, 35, 36
Well,
now?
what did Devontae Smith just get?
20, 27
as
probably,
All
exactly
right,
like
so figure
Waddle,
he gets.
Devontae
28.
Smith.
All right, so figure he gets 28, 29.
Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle are number 2 receivers. Garrett is a legit number 1. He's gonna get paid like top tier number 1 receiver. He's gonna
But
receive.
hear
Thank you.
me out real quick.
He's better than Devontae Smith as well.
Yes,
I
he's
think Garrett's
better.
better than Devontae
All
Smith.
So
right.
he's
All
gonna
I'm
get
saying
that
Guys,
is
money.
draws the number 1 corner's
can
attention.
I just get a word in here real quick? So the fact is, if we're restarting, that's June's plan, and June, I'm specifically saying this to you. You don't have to pay a quarterback. If you have a Jordan Travis, a rookie, you can allocate money to build around the team. That's why
Wait, Petey,
Miami did it.
can I say
That's why
one thing
Miami did it with go ahead, yeah.
before someone jumps in?
Yep.
Listen, I want to rebuild, but I don't. I want to retool more than I want to rebuild. Like I
I
don't want to
agree.
complete. I don't want to. You know, a roster that's got no. Like we got talent on the roster. I want to leave. The young guys on the roster. I don't want to get rid of everybody. I don't want to go to an expansion team like level roster. I still. So I think sell off some pieces, get some new young guys in, keep the team young, and that's a recipe for success.
Petey, quick question to you because I know that you were at.
Who said that? Was that before?
I
Before?
did.
I guess my question for you is: the Jets have done such a good job of drafting before they sold their souls for Aaron Rodgers. How do you pivot back to saying let's kind of build and retool and draft and develop when
Because there's
they
still
already
young
kind of
guys on the team,
you know,
T-Web. But it's not like it's not an old roster.
Hey, Petey, quick question to
okay.
you on the Garrett Wilson thing because I know that you were out at camp and you were saying how he was kind of shining, and I have a a friend of mine that said the same exact thing. And one of my best friends is a Jets fan, went up there for every practice he could as well. So Garrett Wilson, to me, he came in this season with huge expectations, right? Mm-hmm. And it seems like there's maybe a sense of him being a little bit disgruntled, or maybe like it not panning out to the optimal level that they expected.
Right.
Do you think any of that is just that the chemistry, no matter how hard they try between him and Aaron Rodgers right now, it's just not working? Because that can happen,
Yes. I think Garrett has this chemistry with Aaron Rodgers now. Like, I think the last 3 weeks has been sending.
But to be fair, look, Neil, everybody says Aaron Rodgers is this bad guy and everything, and why would Davante Adams want to still play with him?
Yeah, and I don't think it's that. I don't think
Davante Adams hasn't played with them in a little while, so I feel like they say that. Of course, they're still friends, but obviously it's not the same as it was 3-4 years ago. And Rodgers
but
the same as it was 3-4 years ago. And honestly, this move was made a little too late, way too late. And what I was going to say originally was that it was a big domino effect the offseason of the fact that they didn't get the Reddick deal done, and then Jermaine Johnson going down. Like, the Jermaine Johnson had a big edge on this defense, and it's tough that they completely come out flat. They've been flat the last 3 weeks. Maybe it was the fact that Mosley wasn't playing for a couple weeks too and wasn't on top of them. I don't know, but the offense doesn't have any edge. The defense doesn't have any edge, and that falls back on the head coach too. And I don't know if Saleh was getting them ready at least, and he was the motivator. Whereas there was never a guy who was the motivator, true motivator on either side of the ball. It was always Saleh having to get him up, and that was what he was good at. He wasn't really good at the situational aspect of being a head coach. He was good. He was a good rah-rah guy, a good lead by example guy, because he ran the freaking bleachers and stuff like that. And I can only imagine that it was him getting in the way of the Reddick deal, because that deal should have been done in August. That deal should have been done in July. And also Davante Adams too. Davante Adams as well. Why are we doing that after we're 2-4 when we should have been doing it right before the season started? If everything had fallen into place before the season started, and I can't imagine that the price was that much different. The price was not that much different from week 6, week 5.
Well, Oakland was, to be fair, bro, and I was going to call you Bobby Bacala. Bobby.
Well, it was Arston back in the day, but it's good to see you, Petey. Good to hear from you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I haven't been in a while.
All right, yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
It's a domino effect.
But
it's a real domino effect, and it falls on GM.
If y'all want to
get.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Jarek. After you're done, I want to get Aaron in here and Charles. But go ahead. This is a good combo.
If you wanted to get Davante Adams in before training camp, you would have probably would have get the value would have been significantly higher. You would have got a first.
Correct.
It would have been a first round pick to get Davante Adams. And I'm not too sure if the Jets want to do that occasion. Now the Jets saw an opportunity because his value decreased, just like how Amari Cooper's value decreased. And you had an opportunity to get those players. But I do agree that a lot of the moves that happened during the season, it should have happened during the offseason. That includes the head coach of Robert Saleh before,
Yes.
That move should have been done a while ago if you wanted to move in a different direction.
To do it the week before the biggest game is insane and really just neglectful on Woody Johnson.
How about what Woody Johnson did? And listen, again, this is not me clamoring for Saleh. I mean, I understand. I know the Jets stink, but technically, if they could have beat Buffalo, which they were in the game and they could have beat them, we all know that, the Jets would have been in first place that week. And they fired the coach thinking that it was going to solve everything, and it got worse.
I completely agree.
Look, how about this? How about here we are Tuesday, and the kicker that cost us 3 fucking games is still on the fucking roster.
You know what's even worse, bro? The one that you let go has become probably performing as the best kicker in the NFL.
Yes, only missed 1 field goal. The dude that you let go.
Yes, hear me out though. To be fair, Zuerlein the last 2 years was beyond excellent. He was in 90%.
So are you still giving this man?
Yeah, but he was showing yips in the preseason though. Is what the thing
and I said that,
showing you a trend.
Tyleek,
it's different
I agree,
with being a kicker.
Yes, Tyleek, I agree with you, but I just think they probably said it's preseason, it doesn't count, and they gambled and they lost.
I mean, I hear you,
They
but I think it's
lost.
different. I think it's a different standard when you're a kicker. Like kicker is different. It's not like you're playing offensive line and like, okay, he's a little rusty, he's gonna get it together during the regular season. Kicker is so mental that like him having the gifts like that, you should have at least had a fucking contingency plan. And
they let go of the best kicker. He's like one of the best kickers in the NFL right now. He's on Washington.
You didn't want him for the regular season. You wanted him for the playoffs. If you know what I mean. It's no different than Justin Tucker down here, dog. He ain't making them either. But guess what?
What up,
I believe when the time's right, he will. And that's probably what they thought about Zerline as well, fellas.
Yeah. Let me just.
Yeah, but like when the kicker is literally like cost you 3 games, that kicker has lost his 3 games. Bro. I'm sorry.
You could have drafted
and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
Neil,
you did not do shit.
Get your point in real quick, and then I want to get to Aaron and Charles.
I was just going to joke with Office. Ever since Justin Tucker became my assistant baseball coach, he's missed a lot more field goals. I think I'm cursed.
Oh shit, we all are then.
Aaron and Charles.
Yo, what's up, PD? June, how you guys doing today?
Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Good, man. Thank you.
So, no, I kind of want to go back to like the Garrett Wilson thing for a little bit. So, I definitely see where both you come from. I kind of agree with what Petey's saying. I agree with what June's saying. But here's kind of my pushback to you a little bit, Petey, about keeping Garrett. We all know Garrett's a little bit of a diva. So my question is would his attitude really be worth keeping around in the locker room, going through another rebuild? You know, is that something
he's a diva? Honestly, you think he's a diva? You think he comes across as a diva?
Wait, what? What is attitude?
You think Garrett Wilson comes across as a diva?
I think so, a little bit, yeah. Like with his antics on the sidelines.
Yes.
See, this is all right. I see what you're saying.
I think he's a passionate player.
Is just you just have to. I don't think you can get rid of all 4 of these guys. I don't think it's the right move.
No,
but you can't.
So you got to pick.
Okay,
you can't. All right. Yes, Ann, I know where you're going. I think you can't keep all 4 of them.
Right. I was gonna say
you got to pick. You got
30. Was it 38 million or whatever?
No.
30 million?
So Surtain got 24 million, correct? Or 24.5?
28 million.
So, all right. So maybe, Sauce, who knows what he's going to get? I thought he would reset the market.
Petey, I think corner is a luxury, is a final piece to a team.
Yes.
For a team like us right now. Like, if you look throughout the league, maybe 25 teams, they don't have top corners.
No.
And they're winning games. So
yes.
We don't need, you know what I'm saying? Like the Rams did it. They went out and got Ramsey. That was the final piece for their team that year. They won a Super Bowl.
Yep. That's a fact.
So I just think
actually the Rams did it and they got the quarterback, to be fair.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I just think corner's more of a luxury. You can get guys that play. Like, it's not like, I don't know. That's just me. I mean, like 25, probably if you go through 25 teams, they have corners you never even heard of.
That's a fact.
The scheme matters. For the corner, like probably more than any other position, corners and safeties heavily rely on scheme more than personal talent.
Yeah. Yep. Charles, Neil, make your point, and then Charles.
I was just going to say the trade that's a win-win for them is to pick up the phone and call the Commanders and send DJ Reed for a second-round pick. I would do that if the Jets season, say they lose Thursday night. DJ Reed's an unrestricted free agent. Yep. It doesn't seem like the Jets have made any, any offers or anything, and they got other fish to fry. I would try to accumulate another early day 2 pick for DJ Reed. And the Commanders have 160 million in cap space, so they're a team that could probably work out a long term. I know that they've been picking up the phone, the Commanders, and trying to find corners. It just seems like there's a lot of harmony there, and I think DJ Reed's played really well this season. So you able to get maybe a second and a fourth, second and a fifth, something like that.
I mean,
that's
Neil, I'm saying, a second round pick for DJ Reed.
Maybe a fourth.
A third.
No. If the Jets could pull that off and get a second rounder, that's really good draft.
He's one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. And honestly, since he's been out, Sauce has been a little bit, exposed a little bit. because he had to really, really do his job and really switch gears, but he couldn't really do that, and I think that's contributed because DJ
All
Reeves
right.
really carried him a lot. I mean, not
Yeah,
so much, but a
let's
lot.
Petey, what's the
right.
cap
Let's
situation for the Jets next year?
50 million right
50
now.
million,
And
There's
they
a
have
50
to
million.
bigger
and they
there's
have to re-sign
but there's
everybody too.
Yeah.
right, but they who's they still don't have to pay their young guys. They don't.
I think
And
Sauce
even
is
if
gonna
they
want
do
to do.
pay right, but even if
Sauce's
they
dead
but
cap is
guys,
19.
even if they pay him and after Charles, I'll be done in 15 seconds, just come off mute. If they pay Sauce this year, it's going to lower the cap number in his first year. It's not going to be tremendous. They have the money down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the GM,
And I'm not saying they should extend Sauce now, but they have the money.
whoever
Charles, go
comes
ahead.
in. Go ahead, Charles. My bad.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good
I
morning,
think
brother.
everyone would very much prefer. The only problem with that is retool implies that like you had once arrived and you just need to like throw a couple extra nice toys in and then get going again. When players have lost for a long time and haven't been coached for a long time in the same group, unfortunately, there's going to be some collateral damage with some of your better young players. Some
Thank
guys are
you.
never going to reach their peak because of the fact that they were never in a position to know what a real football team feels like, what a real culture feels like, and
Hmm.
what winning feels like. That's why it tends to go more towards rebuild than
Thank
retool.
you. Thank you,
Not
Charles.
that I'm happy about any of that. And as far as
But
Garrett's concerned,
Charles,
yes,
He's right. Charles
can
right.
yes, I want to ask you a
Yeah, but
question
we
here
have
because that's
enough
a
young
great point.
talent and premier positions
Wait,
to be able to retool and not rebuild.
yeah, Charles, I don't think, and listen, I'm not saying tear it down. To me, Charles, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, I don't think Woody Johnson's going to completely rip it down. I don't.
I think it's
Charles,
hard to. But
he's got to fill the
You
building, and he's
no,
not even doing it
you have to
now.
yeah,
tear down
no.
the front office, bro.
The problem with
Got to tear that shit
retooling
down.
Right.
too is
Woody's
the
scared.
cap has
Let
to
me hear
allow you to.
Charles here.
The cap
Go
has to
ahead.
allow you to retool and not rebuild as well. That's also a factor as far as, maybe not being able to afford some players you'd like to keep, but now you can't because of the way you structured
Yeah,
contracts,
but
et
I
cetera.
have a question
Well,
though. Like,
Petey,
wouldn't you agree though that like if you have such young guys that are like obviously so talented, right? And you tear down the front office, right? Like I'm gonna be real, man. Like I get the whole like offloading these guys and getting assets. But bro, like at the end of the day, the draft is a crapshoot. These guys are all quality players. You know that if you put a good coach in there, like a good coach in there, like presence, they'll probably be very, very good. However, like I don't think that all four need to be paid, but you need to make sure that you choose the right ones.
but Petey, is Woody Johnson even going to be involved this offseason? I mean, assuming
I don't know. I
assuming
have no
he
idea.
could go back to
Just
the UK.
what they could. And one
We
quick
why?
point about Garrett:
Yeah.
if you're going to get a new quarterback involved, or you're going to try to develop a quarterback, it helps tremendously to have at least one
You need a top
blue
tier wide
chip
receiver,
receiver
bro.
on the roster.
Yeah, that's where June and I differ
I
on
I
this.
differ from that.
You want to offload
I
Garrett,
do.
June?
Listen, right now he got value. He can help us. You can't tell me that we can't at least get a first and maybe a third or a first and a fourth for
Yeah,
him.
but bro, like, listen, bro, but like, how, like, I have been vying for a great, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna speak as a fan right now. Like, I get like the assets, but bro, I've been vying for a top-notch talent at the wide receiver position as a Jet fan for so
But hear what
long.
I'm saying. But
You're gonna just you're gonna shoot darts at a dartboard
time,
when you know you have
time,
a guy who
time.
has such great upside. I don't know if I agree with that.
Hey, time. I'm gonna make a comparison again because you probably didn't hear. You probably wasn't in when I said it. It doesn't matter who your wide receivers are if you don't have a quarterback to get them the ball. We just seen Tariq Hill and Jalen Waddle for the past month. They didn't even have 35 fucking yards because they don't have a quarterback.
But then you're gonna bring in a top tier wide receiver into a wide receiver core of who? Like, I don't even know who would even be on the
Listen, you could
contract
have
in that
Jerry
room that you
Rice on one
offloaded to.
side, you could have Terrell Owens on the other. If you don't have a quarterback to get them the ball, what difference does it make?
Yeah,
So
but
why
you
would I
don't even know
allocate
if the
20?
guy you're going to hit on is like you don't even know if the guy
Yo,
you're going
it
to hit on is
it
going
is
to
a
hit. That's how much
crapshoot,
of a
but you
crapshoot it
need a
is.
quarterback in today's league. There's no way around it. So
I
so
hear you.
so,
I hear you, bro. I
so,
hear you, bro.
so
But
hear what
like,
I'm
listen,
saying.
bro.
But hear what I'm saying. So if I trade him and I'm able to stockpile first round draft picks, first of all, that's appealing for the next coach coming in. That's number one. Number two, that's giving me more bites at the apple. Now
They
I
stockpile draft picks, though, bro.
I
They
can
stockpile
go.
draft picks, and how many of them fucking missed, including
Listen,
the quarterback.
if you sit there and you evaluate quarterbacks coming out, now you can with the first round picks that you do have, you can go get the guy that you really want, that you really believe in. I'm not
Bro, they
gonna
really
sit there.
wanted Zach Wilson. They really wanted Mekhi Becton. They are, bro. Listen, I get like you want assets. Yes, I agree with that. But like you're talking about, like, bro, he's a premier guy. Like other guys, like I hate to say it, Brees or like Jermaine, like those two, like are the more so the guys I feel like. As much as I'm a big Sauce fan, so maybe I'm a little biased. But like you look at Garrett Wilson, you need a top notch wide receiver if you're a team not named fucking Kansas City. Bro.
Right.
Sorry.
Yo, I agree with you.
Do you think he's doing premier things though with the
Exactly.
quarterback they
Yeah. But
have?
wait. Hold on, office.
I'm sorry
No,
to
no, no, no,
interrupt.
no,
I
no, no,
didn't
no,
mean
no,
to
no.
interrupt.
You're right. Hold on, say that. But somebody just asked me a question. What did they say about who just said something?
I did.
That was me, sir.
No, no, no,
Office.
no, no, no,
I'm
no, no,
sorry,
not
sir.
you, office. Somebody else said something.
No, no, no. I was gonna ask you something, June. I said, but with the quarterback position, right? I mean, you can't have you want the rookie quarterback. You need some solid guys, man, to develop the quarterback. You can't have no name
I
guys,
mean,
man.
Garrett Wilson has
Uh,
51 catches already.
oh,
Like,
okay.
I'm sorry. You got to
But
keep this
Pete,
guy.
hey, Pete, guess what? A lot of them fucking
I
51
think y'all are
catches.
like stuck in a rebuild mode, but like, what about like appreciating like, okay, like these guys are homegrown blue chip players. I'm not just gonna trade them. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't
What's
Listen,
do that.
with the blue
I'm
chip?
all June. I'm
Wait.
all for trading Sauce, but you lost me with Garrett.
Listen. Hear what I'm saying. Once again, is he elite? It's a simple question.
He's a top 10 receiver. He's a
Yes.
top 10
He,
receiver.
Yes.
He's a
you consider Garrett Wilson a top 10 wide
Right?
receiver?
He's played okay,
I,
not
I'm
overall
not
with
going to
this
say
season, but like the
he
last
Does
3
he
weeks, he's
have
been a
top
top.
top
10
7
He's a
numbers
receiver in
right
top
the
now?
NFL.
15
He's been ascending
receiver.
this year.
Okay,
Absolutely.
top
Agreed.
15. Okay, top 15. I'll agree with that. He's not a top 10 wide receiver. And once again,
That's
Okay.
fine.
any
By the end of the year, he will be.
anytime he's playing a top 10 cornerback, he disappears. He disappears. We all know this as
When?
Jet fans. What do
When?
you mean when? Are you
He
kidding
played
me?
Christian Gonzalez, toe
And he shut
tap,
him down. He shut
special
him down.
throw,
He shut him
touchdown.
down.
What do you
What
mean?
he got a touch. He
He played
caught
against
one catch.
Benford. He
He
played against
caught one catch.
Benford and
Hold
fucking who
on.
else?
Benford is not
Benford and
top
Teron
10.
Johnson. Those guys
Hold.
are top-notch cornerbacks. What was
Benford
his
is
stat
not
line
top
then?
10. Benford's not top 10. He played against Snead. He played against Gonzalez.
Bro,
He played against Patrick
Buffalo this
Surtain.
year's corners are
He's
not
played.
good.
Wait,
Like, are you
June, let
serious?
me
He
ask,
Please,
tore them the
come
fuck
on.
apart.
Tyreek, hold on.
Benford is not top
yeah,
Let me,
but
10.
but June.
June, I think you don't like Garrett's attitude. That's the main
Listen,
thing.
I don't like
That's
that
why you
either.
don't,
I don't like
you
that
don't want,
either.
you don't want him here.
Listen, one bad apple will always spoil a bunch. I watched football for 40 fucking years. I've noticed. So just like what my man said with that diva shit, he bitches and moans when he think
I
about
think
something.
I think he's a passionate player, a guy that's used to winning a lot, and he can't take the losing.
Listen, hear me out real quick. If anybody paid attention in the beginning of this year, he bitched and moaned and cried. Then boom, the one game he got 100 yards, he ain't bitch no more.
Okay,
Even
but
though we
listen though, bro.
lost.
But like,
Even, oh,
how
wait, wait,
many
oh, wait,
wide
hold on,
receivers in this shit literally crashed out on social media? The
hold
guy
on,
moped around a little
hold
bit.
on,
He's a
hold on.
competitor.
Ty, hold on. The boom, he got another game 100 yards. He ain't bitch no more, but he
I'm not
still
doing that.
lost.
I'm not attacking the dude's character. I don't think he's a diva. I think he was fucking down. He
You're
was
not,
down. He was not producing the way he was expecting. Him and his quarterback were
brother.
not on the same page.
Yeah,
He could have
but
for sure went on
He
social media like any of these other guys
He's
around the league and crashed out on social media, but he
he's
didn't.
not
Yes,
elite, bro.
did he look upset? Absolutely, but he's not like a diva like one of these other guys in the league.
June, he took responsibility for the Steelers game, and it wasn't really even his fault that Steelers game.
That wasn't his fault that the ball hit him in the fucking shoulder
No, but I'm
pads.
saying he took responsibility, saying that he was the
He
reason they
had no
lost.
choice but to take responsibility. The
All
shit
right,
hit him
but
square in
I'm
the.
just saying that I did.
He's still your best leverage.
Listen.
Yeah, let's get other people in here.
Okay,
I think
Charles,
going
okay.
jump
after
in.
Garrett's a little excessive, man.
Charles, are you
No.
here?
It's not I'm going after him. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if I could spin him for a first round, a first and a third, I'm gonna do it because I don't have a quarterback. So listen, you can sit there and give him 40, 50, $60 million. If I don't have a quarterback giving the ball, why the
But
fuck? What the fuck am I paying for?
June, what are you supposed to do when you rebuild and you get a
You ever had,
quarterback?
you ever
Especially,
had a
hold
quarterback to
on,
give
a
Garrett Wilson
young
the
guy.
ball for how
Yeah,
many years?
wait, Tyreek, just let me. I'm not going to be long. When you rebuild with a quarterback, which we can't do right anyway, you have to build around the quarterback. You have to get him a running game. You have to get him an offensive line. You have to get him a wide receiver.
I think the
That's
offensive
what they
line is
have
more
to
important.
do.
I think the offensive line is more important. I really do.
Well,
That's
they
true.
need a receiver too.
Wait,
Charles,
Petey,
let me hear
You
you.
guys should get Justin Fields and bridge the gap for
Guys,
2 years.
can I get to Charles, please? Thank you.
Hey
Charles,
guys,
go ahead.
yeah, I don't think anyone wants is proposing to trade away all our good players and start from the ground up. I think the question was always, even if we didn't suck as bad as we do this year, it was always going to be a dilemma about keeping those four, the ones from the same draft class. You were never going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to keep all four anyway.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
if you're headed towards a rebuild or a retool, logically, right? I think the receiver's the harder guy to find, and your D back between scheme and pass rush, you could always hide some warts on the corners
So who do you think
as
has
you're
more
trying
trade
to
value,
get better.
Sauce or Garrett?
Say it again.
Who do you think has more trade value, Sauce or Garrett?
It's
I
definitely
think
Sauce.
Sauce
It's
has
Garrett.
It
more
has
Sauce.
to
than
be
enough,
Sauce. It
Similar,
has to be Sauce.
similar.
I'm gonna say
and that's
Garrett. I'm gonna say Garrett.
No way, Sauce. Definitely Sauce.
Bro, he
Because
has he has
he's a
two all
two-time. He's
all
a two-time
pros.
All-Pro. He's a
I
two-time
think
All-Pro.
teams that are on the cusp of like trying to get to a Super Bowl for the most part already have a receiver. I think some of them are more weaker in the secondary and they view that as a finishing piece. But that's just an opinion. I can't say that's a fact.
No, you're
Bro,
right,
I'm
and
gonna
I
be real,
agree
bro. I
with
think a top notch team who like
It's
feels like
see
they're a player away would like
so
literally like give up first round picks for like Sauce
this is
Gardner.
the question if we talk about value, right? Because we can use this with the Miami Dolphins. Who's the more important player? Tyreek. Who's the more valuable piece? Tyreek Hill or Jalen Ramsey?
Ooh.
Tyreek Hill changed the team, in my
you.
Exactly,
Yes,
opinion.
yes.
exactly. And so Garrett Wilson, knowing that he is a number one receiver, a
But
young
he's not.
emerging receiver that could potentially that could definitely be
It's
in
a
that.
great question,
Yep,
Garrett.
But
But
that definitely could be in that
but
spot.
Jared,
but
He's gonna
but, but Jared, wait, wait, wait,
have
wait, wait,
value.
wait, wait. Hold on, Jared. Do you actually see Garrett Wilson in the same light as fucking Tariq Hill?
I think he can get there. Yes.
So we're going on potential.
Getting
Yeah,
there and
yeah. I'm
being
about
there
to
are two
say,
yeah.
different
yeah.
things.
Come on, we can't do that.
I
Well,
mean,
The last
oh,
But
three
but
weeks
wait a
he's
minute.
been a
but
top
hold on
five. He's been a
to
top five
Jarek's
receiver in
point.
the NFL
To
the last
Jarek's
3 weeks.
point,
Wait a
a
minute now.
team. Hold on to Jarek's point. A team will trade for
But
the
he's been
upside.
playing against
Uh, uh,
second. Listen, he's been.
Okay, but what about if you don't think a team is going to trade for guys who are a guy who's already put on tape and has two first team all pros?
I mean,
What?
we
What'd you
talked
say?
about Sauce.
The Jets
I
defense
don't even think Sauce is the best corner on your team. I think DJ Reed's
Not
the
this
better
year. Not
corner.
this year. Not this year. You guys have been. DJ Reed
Like,
has been playing lights the fuck out. He's been the best corner on the team this year.
Yeah,
but to Jared's point, a
mhm.
team if they're looking for a long term option at receiver, not just a 1 year person, and you see Garrett Wilson is available, you're trading for him. You're trading for the upside, and
Is
you're
someone
trading for
talking
what he
right
can
now?
do now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
Shit, I gotta.
Yeah.
Justin, drop
Oh,
down and
okay,
come
bro.
back.
All right,
Put them
cool.
all. Pay them all.
well, we haven't talked about this. How about Quinnen Williams? Would you move him for a
Yes,
first?
absolutely.
yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
that
let me
one,
tell you
yes.
something. Right now, if I was GM, I'm telling you, but I'm different. It's just my opinion. There's no fucking man that's safe on this fucking team. If I can get a first round, I'm fucking trading you.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
There
wondering
speaking
you
of
go.
if
Getting
trade,
past
There
the
you
allure,
go.
bro. I
guys,
understand, but like
wait,
you
wait,
gotta
wait,
get
wait,
past
wait.
the
Well,
allure of the
speaking of
first round
trade,
pick,
and I
bro.
want to trade this combo off to Jim because he was waiting a while and then he
What up,
left.
Jim? What's going on, brother?
Jim, good
What's up?
effing morning. Let me hear it, Jim.
Good morning, motherfuckers. June, this is my question for you. I get your whole trade thing and quarterback, but what is your plan at quarterback? Um,
Right, that's
next
where I was
year,
going, Jim.
is it Rodgers? Is it draft? Even if you get one of the top, listen, Sanders is not coming.
No,
Dion is not letting his
hell
son
no.
come here.
You wouldn't dare.
No. So just say, what's the guy you want? You want the guy from Miami?
You talking about Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Is
This is what I would do. I would I would definitely make a run for him, but I mean, entirely that would be up to the GM anyway. But my whole thing is first thing first. You can't get the quarterback without the GM. So I'm trying to make this job as appealing as fuck to whatever good GM that I can get in here. Because once again, like you said, people with any sense don't want to come here
So,
fucking anyway. So
but listen, yeah, but you're always gonna get someone to come here. Forget that.
nah,
Just say,
You don't
no,
think?
no, no,
Wait,
no,
hold on a
wait,
second.
wait,
Just
Jim,
wait a second.
June. You don't think Aaron Glenn's going to want to
no,
come
no, no,
back
no, no,
home
no,
to
no,
the
no,
Jets if they
no,
June,
offered
no,
him
no,
a
June,
no, no,
just
no, no,
job?
no.
let's put it
That's
this
not what I'm
way, June.
saying. Look,
June, I'm gonna make you the GM. What is your plan for the Jets at quarterback? Just say Jets pick top 5. What do you do with Rodgers if you're the GM? Like, what would be your plan?
I'm telling Rogers, stay home. We still gonna pay you anyway. I'm gonna rip the band-aid off. That's it.
Okay.
You would throw. So you would throw your rookie quarterback. Like how many times have we
No,
done
no,
that in
no,
this
no, no, no,
fucking
no, 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 no,
underrated
no, 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 no,
organization?
no, no. I didn't say I would throw a rookie quarterback out there. I would let Tyrod Taylor start the season and let him sit behind him.
So you would you
A
you are
guy who
done with
averages 4 games
Rodgers.
a year.
You are done with him.
What'd you say?
You're done with Rodgers, 100% done.
Yeah, you would have to
But you would
be.
have
You,
you would
you,
you would
you,
rather have Tyrod Taylor mentor your new guy.
I need you to understand something. Wait, wait,
Yes,
wait, wait, wait. Listen,
Tyrod's one of the best backups in the league.
exactly.
4 fucking games, bro. He's going through
Bro,
that rookie quarterback. I
Tyrod
love
Taylor,
Tyrod Taylor. I think he's good, bro.
Justin
But
Herbert
that
sat
rookie
behind
quarterback
Tyrod
will be
Taylor.
starting by week 7.
Justin Herbert
That
sat
rookie quarterback
behind
will be starting in
Tyrod
week
Taylor.
7,
You
bro.
do know that, right?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
and how many games in did he was he starting?
8.
Okay, the rookie quarterback that'll be the cap, and then you don't even know what your new staff is going to look like.
Bro,
I
listen
much
to me.
rather have
Yeah,
a
and
guy
then
But
Tyrod got his
Listen,
with
rookie
with a
contract.
better mind
listen.
be the mentor for
If,
my
if,
rookie
if
quarterback.
I'm a GM and I want to hire a good coach, there's no fucking good, sensible coach that's gonna come in here and say, "Yo, you're forced to sit there with Aaron Rodgers for 1 fucking year." No, that's not
June,
gonna happen.
let me ask you another question. Someone tweeted Rodgers' projected stats for this year. Now, it's a projection, but it's just over 4,000
Hmm.
yards, 26 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. If you heard that from the beginning of the year, and that's not good Rodgers, that's average
Hmm.
Rodgers. Do you think
Yep.
the Jets' record would be, just say they end up 7-10 again? Would you
Hell
think the
no.
Jets are 7-10 with those
Of
stats?
course not.
No, Jim.
So the my kind of point is it's really not him. Like, everybody wants to
Oh
kill
no,
him. Like,
no,
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 he's
it's him.
not
No, it's him.
playing.
Jim. I'm the first one to agree
He's
with
part of
you.
the problem.
He is not him. I know it's not. Well, let me say this: performance-wise, it's not him because he's the one that's going back and forth with the office coordinator. That's the reason why we keep burning time out. We keep getting to
But
play a
bro,
game.
but bro, but bro, but
He's
bro,
hold on.
he's a part of the problem,
He's
bro. Like let's be
listen.
honest here and not like absolve
He
him of
is a
accountability.
No, no,
The
part of the.
I'm
team
not. I'm
has
not
missed
saying
Now
that.
throws.
hold
But
He
on,
has
Ty.
turned the
if
ball over
you
Hold
9
on.
games. Come on,
if
man.
you
He is
heard
a
those
part of the
stats in
problem,
the beginning of the
but
year,
he's at the bottom of the list when it comes to problems. He's the
exactly.
bottom of the
Yeah, I
list.
agree.
You know.
I agree.
He's part of the problem, and he could have helped solve the problem and didn't. That's what
Right.
bothers me the
Yes,
most,
Right.
But I
yes.
in the
think
sense that he
don't you
thinks he
guys?
doesn't need a coach.
Well,
Okay, he
that's the
doesn't
thing.
think they
Don't
need
you guys?
coaching, and that's why they're where they're
Thank
at.
And
you.
you know what
They
also
don't
Thank
have.
you.
pisses
But
me off,
see,
bro?
Thank
but people talk about Salah. Salah is a bad
Very
coach,
bad.
and his staff that he assembled is even worse.
Absolutely right, Jim.
So
Amen.
you know, it's again, June, you said it
Mhm.
perfectly. He is bottom of the list of the problems with this Jets team.
Yes.
If you took those stats, you would say, okay, with that, we're probably 10-7 if everybody
Jim,
played
can I
up to
make
No,
a
their
no,
point to
ability.
but
you?
look though, bro. Like, what was like? There was other things that we wanted out of Aaron Rodgers, like without quality of play that he has not
But look,
delivered on. And
all
this
right,
team
but
has
look
not
at
been
what
Listen,
led. This team has
I
not been led
agree,
effectively.
but
guys. I need to
the
get in here,
coaching and the
please.
offensive line, and basically, I've been saying this, three
Jim. This is
quarters
where
of the
I'm going.
team, 3/4 of the team is playing below their
That's a fact.
standards.
Yes, Jim, that's what
That's a fact.
exactly what I brought up last night. Let me just bring this up. Guys, Keith Carter, I know Becton was a problem here, okay? Becton couldn't stand him. Keith Carter, we revamped our offensive line 3/5, and we've gotten worse. And our offensive line last year was trash.
Facts.
We had Nathaniel Hackett and Keith Carter.
That
you
is bottom
did
of the
you
league
did
Bro, the
coaching.
last
did
three
you
games they've
did you
allowed
Bottom.
see
five
did you see the
sacks and 5 yards a carry. Like, yeah, they
did
needed a fucking
J-
click, and the biggest mistake was not playing them in the fucking preseason.
did
And
you
Tyron Smith has been fucking horrid.
hold on a
But if
second?
we're gonna be
This is
real, bro, the problems that are persisting right now in this season are things that none of us had projected that would happen. And
but
that
wait a
means
second.
like
This is
the
Well,
other
their
two phases of the
defense fell
game.
off.
this is week 8. Did everybody see the clip of the 3 Jets blocking one guy on the Patriots?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's
The other guy
that's
missed his assignment.
yeah, but one other guy. We have 3 guys on one in week
We
8.
have a
Yeah, the
guy
other
out there
guy
who's
should have
doing
slid
shit that
out.
Zach, bro.
That's fucking coaching,
Listen,
guys.
bro, Aaron Rodgers is mid, but like you need to understand this as well. Like the dude's play has not been that, and there are times that he's holding on to the fucking ball, missing throws. Like he's missing throws. He has happy feet in the pocket. His mechanics are off. He is part of the problem. And another thing that is persisting is that everything else, the other two phases of the game that we thought that like was going to be effective, have not been. In regards to the defense and in regards to the special teams, like we thought that those guys, those two phases were going to be taken care of, and they have been bad. They've been
Well,
very, very bad.
that's another thing with coaching too. Like Petey brought up Greg Zerline again, the past 2 years. But when your guy cost you 1/9, let's just say 1/9 of your season, that's 2 games, and then you keep him there, and then he blows another game. Now it's 1/6 of your games. There's not
You're in
82
the
games.
same division as Josh Allen, bro.
This isn't
You like you
basketball.
cannot tolerate that.
There's 17 weeks here. That's
Yes.
17 games you get.
Yep.
You don't get to blow 3 of them as a fucking
That's a
kicker.
fact. And
But
he's
you know what?
and Jimmy he's
And
still on the
so
fucking roster, Jim.
exactly, and he's still here. So what does he get? A 4th chance? Was he a 4 games
Jim,
to fucking
here's my
blow?
problem. Here's my problem, and then we'll get to the hands.
It's
They
fucking
have a
insane.
tryout today. Jim, if he hits all of his field goals, what do?
You
They're
cut
gonna
him.
keep
You
him.
cut him.
They're gonna keep
What do you?
him because it's same old
Not keeping him,
Jets.
Okay, well
It's same old
that's
Jets.
why they're the same old Jets until they're not.
boo,
And you know what's
boo.
funny? Hold on a second. That idiot Ulbrich said a quote yesterday. We're gonna bring in guys on Thursday, and so just say and the best kicker is gonna get it. So
No,
we
it's Tuesday. He meant they're bringing him in today.
oh
They're
he
kicking at
it's the
MetLife.
quote I saw
Jim, no,
Thursday.
Jim. Listen to me, Jim. They will decide Thursday who's
Okay,
kicking.
What
so
the
that
fuck is
so
there to
okay
think about?
so wait a second. So
So,
we play Thursday night. You're gonna tell the
yep,
guy, whoever's gonna be kicking that
it's a
day,
mess.
you're kicking tonight. Because no pressure, guy. Just
Jim,
let's just
that's
tell him
why
that
it
day.
is same old Jets, Jim.
But
It's same old
that's
Jets for
why
me.
it's this guy is a worse coach than fucking Salah.
Yes.
It's
I
just
agree.
it's just brutal. It's absolutely
All right,
brutal.
Charles
But
in an
what
office,
do us
please.
fans know, right? We don't
We
what do
don't,
we
yeah,
guys
we
know?
just in here freaking
Yeah.
moaning every day.
There are 10 people in here that I would trust to run the fucking Jets over what they have fucking there. It's true.
Well, I
It's
wouldn't.
true.
I'm going to throw a dig here. I wouldn't trust June trading Garrett Wilson.
I'm trading them all.
They give Garrett. They'll give him one first round
If
pick and a fourth round pick. He'll be able to hit jump
if,
every
Well,
time.
if,
Like, come on, you can't be GM June. Come on.
You give June the phone for a couple trades, and then you take the phone away. He
It's a
gets
first round pick.
disconnected.
You got it. You got it. Just
Yo,
one
he
All right,
first round
hold
pick.
on.
he
You
goes
got
fucking
it.
rogue.
yo, look,
Hold on.
my motto.
June, after you're done, let's get to Charles
Look,
and then off.
real quick.
Go
My
ahead.
motto is simple. If I can't win with you and I'm paying you peanuts, then what the fuck am I gonna sit there and pay you and give you real money for? I mean, if I couldn't win with you, what the fuck?
You
And
pay good
I just got a real
players.
quick question for you guys. I was watching the Steelers game yesterday. Arthur Smith, questionable to give him another interview? What do you or definite no by you guys?
Man, that's a hard one right there.
What, for head coach?
Yeah.
No,
If you hire him, you're
No.
gonna have to let go of Rodgers.
no.
Like you're hiring CEOs or disciplinarians.
Right.
You're gonna have
No,
you're gonna have to
whatever,
let him go.
whatever, regardless of the players, what do you have to do? Would you bring him in
No,
for another?
no,
No.
no,
Okay.
no. I wouldn't
Mike,
do
I'm
it.
just curious.
Did the
I
Vikings
think the
trade
guy.
Justin Jefferson whenever they had uncertainty at quarterback? I don't think.
yeah, I mean,
But they still
I mean,
got.
I
But
think the guy.
no.
I don't think
But
so.
what you don't understand is that they still had. They drafted a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And not just that. Sam Darnold. I mean, for all intents and purposes,
Still uncertainty
he's an
there. You're gonna
MVP.
tell me that anybody
He's an
expected the
MVP.
Vikings to do what they were doing
He's an
this year or doing what they're
MVP.
doing this year? No.
He's a. So we're the Vikings now. We got good coaching now.
Nobody was
Come on.
expecting the Vikings to do this, bro.
Bro. But they had
They had
coaching.
uncertainty
They
and they
had
paid Justin
coaching.
Jefferson
They
all that
have
bread.
coaching. It's not even
Yeah, but
close.
June,
It's not even
to be
close.
fair, June, and
that's an
Bills
all-star cast
fans
and coaching.
when
Yeah,
Thank you. Like, what are we talking about?
but June,
And
when the
haven't the
Bills
Vikings been a
traded that pick,
playoff team?
can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. I'm
When the
sorry. Go ahead.
Vikings traded that, when the Vikings traded that pick, and Jarek and Justin up here, Bills fans can attest, they thought it was going to be a really high second round pick. Didn't you guys? You thought it too. Nobody thought the Vikings were going to be this good. Nobody.
Petey, are
But
are
it's
you know to Arthur
coaching.
Smith? Petey, are you
What?
know to Arthur Smith?
So you just
He's
want to
not.
put you
I
just
mean,
want to put
he's
all
fine.
your chips on a guy that
If
you don't even know who the
no,
coach is going to be with the
right.
uncertainty at quarterback, just trading Garrett.
Jim,
I
to
don't
answer
think
your
that's
question, out of the
plausible, bro.
10 candidates, no, he's
Okay.
Like I don't think
lower.
that's
All right.
plausible, bro.
Charles,
You
go
have
ahead.
uncertainty
Charles,
everywhere,
jump
and
in,
you want to trade
please.
your
Guys,
great player
let
that you
people
already know
jump
is already
in.
great.
I hate yelling.
Hey, guys, the fundamental mistake this fan base made in general, we were told over and over again, you don't need an offensive coordinator.
Right.
Rodgers
Yep.
is the offensive coordinator.
Facts.
He's your coach on the field. That's all
Yep.
you need. And the reality is, even this dog ass organization knew a little late in the game, they scrambled to get another offensive mind in the building.
Yep.
They just
Yep.
couldn't do it. They realized that they couldn't run it back with the same mentality. But that's the one line that always ate at me is everyone just thinking Aaron Rodgers was your quarterback, your offensive coordinator, your game planner. That's
Yeah, I was
all
one of
you
the
ever
naive ones.
needed. And what you're watching, and listen, they've got problems outside of offense. But your offensive problems, if you just watch on game day, when you consistently can't get a play in on time, okay? When the offensive line, you got three guys blocking one guy, and
They
everyone's
burned
just
3
running
timeouts in
in.
the first quarter.
It,
That's
it, it,
insane.
it's insane.
Yep.
Three
Office
fucking
and then
three
Neil.
timeouts in the first quarter. You know what the best thing Ulbrich did so far as interim head coach, bro?
What? Call
Fumble a fucking
timeout when there
challenge
was a
flag.
delay of
That's the
game?
best thing he's done as the interim head coach. That's the best thing he's
Yeah,
done.
and guess
It's
what?
insanity.
No. Guess when he fumbled the challenge thing, Aaron Rodgers hurt his hamstring on that next play. So that I don't know if that's the best thing, Tyleek, but
It's
that was
definitely the best
funny.
thing. It would have negated
Neil,
the
go
touchdown.
ahead. Office and Neil.
Petey, I just hit pay dirt for the Jets. I heard like 3 men say it. I'm gonna ask you and June roughly and the rest of the men, right? Remember how y'all was talking about culture
Yes.
the other day and a few times?
Yeah, not Jim. Don't
June,
include Jim in this one.
tell me the standard for the Jets is what I'm asking. And the key word is
There is no
standard.
standard.
Are you getting this?
There is
Exactly,
no
sir.
standard.
That's my
Undisciplined,
point. That's what
uncomplimentary
I've
football
heard
is
It's
the
their culture.
most.
poorly run. It's poorly
So you're
run.
rooting for something you don't know what
Exactly.
it is.
Yeah, like hear me out too. It's poorly run to the fact that listen, and I don't want to get into this right now. There's plenty of time, but they did it last year at the same time with the tickets, and they're 2-5 now, 2-6, and you're asking people that are really angry to pay for next year. Like
And talk
it does.
about a standard.
Did you
Doesn't
see
make
that number of like
sense.
their media staff and their ticket sellers? I think they have like
Think
33
about Dan
people on that
Hurley.
like fucking staff with like 5 scouts, 5 things that are actually like things that attribute to like an infrastructure of successful football being played. Like these guys are worried about the wrong thing.
Because
Worried about selling a brand.
Neil, go
think about
ahead.
it. UConn basketball has a
There's a
standard.
right. The winning organizations have standards.
Shit, Nick Saban created the Bama standard.
Facts.
God,
There you go, fellas. There
But
you go. Cook the word
which is the
standard.
reason, office, why I'm saying to make the job appealing to one of the to a great head coach candidate. I'm going to give him as much draft capital as I possibly can, and I'm gonna sit there and ask Rodgers. We appreciate what you did. All right, you can stay home. We still got to pay you. Don't even worry about it. If you want, you have to do it because if you bring him back, you only delaying the inevitable that's going to happen the year after any motherfucking way. You can't do this. You can't do it.
Yeah, that's not building a standard of
It's
winning.
not.
Well, right. You know what's sad, guys? It's 9 o'clock, and the space has been going on for an hour. Nobody has brought up that we're playing the Texans Thursday night. What a
Because they going to beat
disgrace
our
this
ass any
is.
motherfucking way.
Hey June. I know you're talking about getting draft capital, but if you want to be honest, who has the highest draft capital trade value right now that people
It's
were so out
sauce.
that people were so out on so he's not this, he's not that.
G5.
Is Will McDonald.
Sauce.
Is Will
Oh,
McDonald.
ooh,
Nah,
Ill
So
Will.
they
Listen,
ain't,
Jesus.
they ain't gonna
Very
trade
notice
good.
him.
I'm not
I haven't
They
mentioned
ain't
him.
trading him.
no PD, I'm not saying trade him, but everybody in here was talking about he's not this, he's not
You're
that. Now
right.
that he's putting together a complete season, now I haven't heard nobody mention his name once. But in reality, if he ends the season with 13 sacks on a quote unquote bad defense who had a down year, he really may have the most trade value.
And he's playing a
Mm.
premium position.
But,
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you
I
can
see
build.
it.
You
I
can
definitely
build
see it,
around
bro.
that
But
though.
I
but
see
you
it.
know what? At the same time, what brings down his trade value is the fact that he's useless against the run. You can only use him as a situational pass rusher.
Yeah, but June
No,
he
you
can
can't,
get
bro.
that.
Listen,
He's
bro. You
still
getting double
young.
digit sacks, bro? Like anybody is paying for that, bro. I'm sorry. Like you getting after the
Look at
quarterback,
what
bro.
happened
That's
People are
with
that.
paying
Bryce
for
No,
that,
Huff.
bro.
but
I'm
no, but
sorry.
we can't say that.
Look at what happened with
We
Bryce
can't
Huff.
say that though, because Yannick Ngakoue would have
Thank
got
you,
a better
Jerry. Thank
contract.
you.
What?
He's
All
When?
right,
right.
Ngakoue.
guys,
When?
please,
Well, like
guys,
Yannick
let's get
Ngakoue
to.
would have got signed when? Is what I'm asking. Like what timeline is that?
Oh,
You talking
Neil left.
He's a pass.
about? Back? You talking about back when he peaked, or you talking about like right now?
He's a pass rushing
He still would
specialist.
have been.
Didn't he get paid whenever he had a peak season with Jacksonville?
No, they let him
No,
go. They
no,
traded him.
no.
They traded him.
We
Okay.
picked him up and he hasn't done
So
anything.
I mean, for the like he keeps getting signed on 1 year contracts, and then he'll get you like 6-7 sacks, which is
Facts.
for a situational pass. I mean, that's great. That's really good for a
bro,
situational
this
pass
guy
rusher.
is
But
almost at double digits already. This is more than a situational pass rusher. This is a
Bro, he's
premier
a
pass.
no, no,
You
no, no,
hit
no, no, no,
those
no, no, no,
numbers,
no, no,
those
no,
are
no.
premier pass
Bro,
rushers, not
bro.
situational pass
He's a
rushers.
situational pass. He has 6 sacks. Against the run, his face is in the ground every time. He's a
He has 8
situational
Who,
pass
sacks.
rusher.
McDonald? He has 8 sacks.
He's a situational pass rusher. All he does is rush the pass. That's it. He can't do nothing else. He can't set the edge.
He has
He
more
can't do
sacks
nothing
than
else.
games played. If he
Right.
keeps
He's
going on
still
this
a.
route, that
It,
is not the numbers of a situational
wait,
pass rusher.
what are you
You
talking
could
about?
still be a
The numbers of a
situational pass
situational
rusher
Bro,
and
pass
get
rusher is 10 sacks, like Bryce
bro,
Huff
if
last
he
year.
had
That is a
no,
16
situational pass
if he
rusher.
had
no.
16 sacks right now, he's still a situational pass rusher.
You can
He
yeah,
only
you can
do
still be a
pass rush.
situational
I don't
pass
That's
agree.
rusher and put
it.
up those numbers, bro.
Bro,
Like
If you get 16 sacks, you're a situational pass
what
rusher. I
the
don't
fuck
agree.
are you listen? It's 16
A
sacks.
situational
It's
pass rusher is
sacks.
ten
June,
sacks, bro. 10
16
sacks like Bryce
sacks.
Huff last year.
16
That is
sacks
a
is
situational pass
ridiculous.
rusher. If you're getting 16 fucking
16 is
sacks,
a
He's
lot.
that is a premier
Yeah.
pass rusher, bro.
it's a pass rush. You not get what I'm
right, but you're
saying?
in pass rushing
Thank you.
situations.
Thank you.
That's the whole
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you.
that's the
Yeah.
situation.
That's the
That's the
situation.
situation.
You're putting him in a situation to be a pass rusher,
Right.
not a complete. But he's not a
Oh,
complete
come
guy.
on.
He's
Are we
not.
really breaking this down
Bro, when you
Listen,
say a
bit by?
situational
guys
pass rusher,
sound
I'm
crazy
thinking
right now.
third
Wow.
down
It's a,
package.
Yo,
This
I'm
guy
out of
hasn't been
this
on the
one.
field, and you're throwing him out there because he's your situational guy the way that they were doing Bryce Huff. That has not been the case for Will McDonald. He's been playing a majority of the fucking snaps outside of last fucking game, which had me actually a little pissed because they had him inside and not at his natural fucking position because of Reddick right now. Like I think they still haven't. That defensive line rotation is so out of fucking whack. It's been one of the biggest things that's been causing the downfall of this team because they don't have no idea what personnel to be and getting caught with their pants down. Pause. Having the worst kind of fucking person. There's no way a Will McDonald should be lined up inside. I don't care what you say. Bro.
All right. Can anybody
He's
guess
not
what
situational.
Will McDonald's snap count is this year? Because I just looked it up.
what is he?
I'm
What's the
asking
percentage?
without anybody looking up.
150.
No, his percentage is he plays 60% of the snaps. So that's not situational.
Oh, sorry.
But hear what we're saying real quick. Is Will McDonald setting the edge? No.
June, he's been the least of our problems, though.
I'm
He's
not
like the
saying he's a
bright spot.
problem.
Him
No,
and DJ Reed.
Okay,
listen,
but what?
I'm
Bro,
not
okay, but
saying he's a problem. In fact, I think he's an
I
asset.
you want the
agree.
But
nigga to be
but
Miles
he's
Garrett or T.J.
no,
Watt, bro? Like how many top
he's
tier
not a
guys are like,
4 down
yeah,
defensive
we
end.
have
He's
him
not
out
a
there
four.
because he's defending the run.
He's
Like
not a
June,
4
if your job
down.
is to
June,
get to the quarterback, do what you fucking do in a great way.
No, a defensive end's job is to set the edge and get to the quarterback. Both, not just fucking get to the
How many, bro?
quarterback.
There's so many premier pass rushers out there that literally like are selling out for sacks and they don't give a
Dude,
fuck about it.
every premier defensive end that you're talking about
Yeah,
sets
dude.
the edge and gets to the quarterback.
Like
There are
so
guys out there who literally just get sacks, and that's what they're calling.
Trayvon Walker is one of the best edge setters, but he can also get after the quarterback.
Thank you. T.J. Watt, both.
Okay.
No, Bosa,
You picked a
Miles
guy who is
Garrett.
top 3 in the NFL, regardless of position.
You said
You're
premier,
putting that
right?
kind of standard on this guy?
You said premier, right?
That nigga is like, bro, TJ
Did
Watt
you
literally,
say
bro, is literally
premier?
like one of the Michael Jordans of defense, bro. He's a top 3
Did you
guy in the
say
league, period,
premier?
regardless of position.
You said premier, right?
June,
Will McDonald. All right,
Please.
guys, hold on here. Will McDonald is an ascending
Right,
player. I'm
right.
sorry,
He is an
June.
extended play.
He's June. He's the Jets' best pass rusher right
Thank you.
now.
He's the
And
best pass
so,
rusher. Right.
right. But what else do you want him to be? He's the defensive end. That's what they do.
Defensive end, set the edge, and get after the quarterback.
Bro,
We just said
Oh,
that.
yeah. I'm not getting technical here, June.
Well,
No
I
offense. Like,
mean, before we sit there and say he's premier, we got to sit there and say right now he's
I'm
one of the.
not saying
No, no,
he's
no, 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 no.
premier,
Not to you.
but Will.
That's not to you. That's the Talib. What I'm saying is before we
you
say
okay,
he's
but you
premier,
just said if a guy gets 16 sacks on a season, that is a situational pass rusher. That is a lie, bro.
bro,
I thought
you just
you
heard
were the
five.
same person, June, that was like, look
Listen,
at his top ready.
listen,
15, 16
listen,
sacks. Yeah, and guess
listen,
what? He was selling out for sacks.
listen. And once again,
And you was calling him premier.
he's a premier pass rusher. Listen to what I'm the full
Hold
thing of
on,
what I say.
franchise. I'll
He's a
get you.
premier pass. You just heard 5 other people
All
besides
right.
me tell you that's a
Let's
pass
get.
rusher.
Let me get to Hector.
Bro, okay.
Hector, good morning.
I think we are misunderstanding each other, bro.
Hector, unmute. You there? Yo, unmute. Ay.
hey June, but in reality though, I understand your point.
I guess
But
they
at the
don't see
same
these
time,
hands.
would you give some
Whittle
picks?
can go after.
My bad. Would you give some picks knowing he has what 2.5 years left without you having to pay him, and you get a cheap
But
pass?
what? But
Which
Jones,
one,
why would
Jones?
you do that
Which one,
though?
Jones?
McDonald?
You talking about McDonald? No, I wouldn't trade him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade him right now.
Oh yeah.
I
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
I
trade him.
wouldn't
I
trade
just
him.
wanted to stir the pot. I just want to stir the pot a little.
Nah.
Oh God! Please don't do this to
Nah,
me this
I wouldn't
morning.
trade like right now. I wouldn't trade him because once again he's only into his second year, so there still might be room to sit there, put some weight on him, and maybe he'll learn to set the edge. That's cool. But as of right now,
Yeah.
these other guys, you can extend them. Like it's time to talk contracts. So why do that when if I gotta make my organization appealing to the next head coach that I'm hoping to get, I'm gonna sit there and give him the most draft capital. I'm sorry, that's just me. Because look,
Whittle,
all of
go
these
ahead.
guys are together on my team right now, and I can't win a fucking game. So why would I keep them?
Wait, Hector, are you here?
Yes, Pete. Can you hear me?
We got you, Heck.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning. Listen, I've been listening and about breaking up the team and all that, but I still got to think that we need to get a pure head coach. I think about Denver. I think about San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
and they straightened it out pretty damn quick.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody hates Belichick as much as I do. I don't even listen to his speeches, but I watched him on the show yesterday, and everything he said was right on about the Jets. You know, we all take it like he's killing us, but what he was saying, we punt it right to the guy. He runs it back 100 yards. We don't learn. This coaching staff is the worst.
Absolutely.
And the salary cap is going to dictate what we do. We got our hands tied,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it sucks. Here I am with our group thinking about a tailgate tomorrow, and I'm fighting with half the guys because they're not even going to go in the stadium. They're going to stay outside. You know, this is. Oh my God, I've seen it, and it's been bad. I remember going to Reds and handing out towels about firing Idzik, and we're right back where we started. But how the hell do we fix this? We do have young
No
stars.
idea.
We do have young stars. If we start trading them, what do we do? And take Tampa. They brought Baker in, and they're competing. It's the coaching staff, man. That's what I got to live and die on that sword.
Now, now,
But
now,
it's the
now, now, Heck, I agree with you as the coaching. Now, but how do you get a good coach to come into this organization? Knowing with all the narratives and all the bullshit that goes on with it. How do you?
Money.
Wait, no. It's
Money.
not just money. This is what I'm saying. It's not just money.
Hold on a
If it
second.
was just money, we'd have been had a
Hold
good
on.
coach
It's
in here.
money, and it's money. And Woody, listen, I know people kill Woody. I get it, but he didn't meddle until this year. Until he's like, I can't fucking watch this shit no more. And with Salah, but before that, he gave this guy everything he fucking wanted. He gave the GM everything he fucking wanted. He fucking, he's paying everybody. So, eventually he's like, he couldn't take it no more this year. And
Right.
again, it was the right thing to fire him. Unfortunately, his staff is even worse than him.
Right.
So he doesn't meddle. He's just meddled this year. Like, he went through every fucking avenue. He hired the firm. He gave Douglas a fucking 6-year deal. He got this, he got that. Again, they'll swing again next year. I don't know if you get a guy like Vrabel, and if Vrabel wants, total fucking control, maybe he says, you know what? I've never done that before. You be the coach and the GM. He has fucking $8 million a year and whatever.
I don't think that's a good idea. It's not a good idea to give a head coach any
Everything
sort of
has
control.
failed anyway. There is no good idea.
Yeah.
There's no good idea.
You have to
We
have
went through every route possible. What's this route?
No,
What's
but
the difference? What's the fucking difference?
You guys never had any sort of any sort of chemistry between the head coach and your general manager. They never agreed. You never had guys that were
Sal
on
and
the same
Douglas
page.
agreed.
Listen,
Sal and Douglas agreed.
we saw Ulbrich yesterday. Make it up an excuse
Sala
for
and
our
Douglas
field goal
agreed for the
kicker.
first 3 years.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess what happened
Yeah.
after that
No,
second year?
I,
Diana
I,
Rossini was getting all these sources, and Joe Douglas was getting ready to get his
What y'all
fucking
think
escape
about
route.
hiring?
What are we talking
What
about?
y'all think about
Who?
hiring? What's his name from Minnesota? The guy that used to coach the Dolphins.
Flores.
Brian
Yeah,
I
why
Flores.
put
not?
that.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Good job,
guys.
Willie.
I actually put that. I did a thing yesterday.
Petey,
4 picture.
I got
What?
called crazy when I was
Whittle,
breaking
don't put anything on the jumbotron. They're gonna take it
You
down.
motherfucking right,
I
because
don't
it's a
care.
jet fucking space. You bastards trying to sneak shit in when we not fucking paying
June,
attention.
June,
Now we
June.
bastards. We
Answer
ain't
He
that
go to
though.
paying
line
no
with
If
St.
attention.
He.
June,
Fuck the
All
bitch.
right.
if
Hold
Listen,
on. I know
listen,
this is
Let me
friendly
ask June a
banter
question though.
between you and
listen.
him,
Give me a
Lee
sec.
Sean.
June, if that's the scenario with Vrabel, you think Vrabel says no?
If what?
If Woody says he reaches out to Vrabel and says, what do you want? You know what? I want to do everything. I want to be the GM coach. I'll hire a great staff.
Hang on,
$8
Jim
million
Thomas.
a year, 4-year deal. You think Vrabel says no? If he says done, you think he says no?
No, I
Wait, wait,
don't.
wait, wait,
Jim,
wait,
they
wait,
have
wait,
to
wait, wait, wait,
Nah,
overpay.
they
wait,
just
wait, wait,
cracking
wait,
out. You got to jump in, bro. They cracking.
My question is, does Roger stay? I mean, do I have to agree to Roger staying?
But June, this is my point.
No,
If
no, no.
Woody,
You don't have to agree to
oh
anything.
man,
You're
can
the
I
fucking guy.
please
You
get a
want
word in
him
here?
gone? He's
Oh,
gone.
you can't, Petey. He's gonna overtalk
Uh,
everybody.
no, by the
Man,
way,
fuck off,
this is
bro.
yo. He didn't. I'm saying this toward. Come on,
Hey, Jim, you
please.
good? Don't worry
First
about
of
it,
all,
Jim. Don't worry about that.
all right. I want to make an announcement. This is how I know everybody's being watched. I just got an alert from Uber. It says commute with Uber. Why the hell are they saying commute? Damn. Guys, please let me. I agree with Jim. And plus, if you freaking offer and overpay, which Woody has to do,
Right, but has he ever done
somebody
it?
will cut. June, please. He will. Somebody. I don't care about the taxes. I don't care about. Florham Park is a nice place to live. These people will come here if you pay
You
them.
have to
Exactly.
overpay.
And just for the people that fucking
Okay,
can't keep their mouth shut, this is a Jets fucking space.
So
Jim.
Jets
what?
Jim,
fucking
I
Shut
got
space.
up.
it. Come on, please. I don't want this.
You have to overpay,
Now we'll
Peter.
take a little break,
Peter, you're
guys.
gonna have to overpay.
Lee Sean and I will probably do a Jets Bill space every week. So if you want to come in and talk nonsense, like last night was pretty fun. Okay, we'll do that in here, not in here. All right, let's have good football talk. Yes, I hate the Bills. Yes, I let the fans in here. I do. I like these guys.
They're
Okay,
assholes.
no, they're not.
And if people don't like that they're in here, I'm sorry. Come at me in the DMs. You know, that includes you, June
They're
Buggy.
assholes.
Hey, Whittle, what made
That's delayed. Guys, please just keep it non-personal.
What made you say Flores?
I would love Flores.
I
I would
I brought
absolutely
that up
love
yesterday.
Flores.
The reason why I brought up Flores is because I look at the roster and I think you have most of the pieces that fit a Flores defense. You have the elite level outside corners, and you have a slot guy that's going to play a big role, which allows him to stay in nickel, which is something that he likes to do. And he also likes to have multiple edge guys that stand up and rush. You're talking about Will McDonald not being great against the run. He doesn't have to be. You have him on the edge. He's a stand-up pass rusher who, from time to time, I believe is athletic enough to drop back and cover a flat or drop back into a zone. Kind of like what Andrew Van Ginkel's doing for them. Then on top of that, you have enough draft capital, I think, to go out and attract either draft a safety that he can kind of mold the way he had Javon Holland and Harrison Smith. You can go out and get an elite level safety, and then
The linebackers. He loves to send
yeah,
linebackers.
the linebackers as well. Like I think he'd make Sherwood a lot better. I think Sherwood's a pretty good player already. Um, you already have Quincy Williams. CJ Mosley is a little older, but if you don't do anything, and on top of that, I don't think he cares about. If they want to bring Rodgers back for one more year, fine. Like, I don't think he's going to bother with that too much. I think he would bring his own offensive coordinator in, and that would be, a 1-year thing for Rodgers to just get along with this coordinator. And if not, you do have a viable backup in Tyrod Taylor, and I think you could. I think you could kind of chill this year, revamp a little bit, get a couple extra pieces on defense, get a couple pieces on the offensive line, and then make moves to position yourself the following season to go and draft a quarterback, somebody that he actually wants, or whatever offensive mind he brings in actually wants, and run that system. But I think you'd have minimal turnover with your defensive roster if you brought a guy like Flores in. And on top of that, he wants to get back at the he would love to get back at the Dolphins twice a year. And if you go back to when Flores was the head coach of the Dolphins gave the Bills a tough go. I mean, even though we won most of those games, we won most of those games because there was a severe talent deficit
Now,
between us and them.
Whittle.
Wait,
Now, Whittle.
can I just push back on
Now,
that real quick?
Wait. Hold on, Whittle, real quick. I think that will be a perfect hire. My only thing is, I don't think Woody has the balls to hire him due to the fact that all the owners, they're all together on this because he's suing the league. So I don't think that he has the balls to sit there and hire him.
But June, let me just say this: did we forget that he was a total asshole to his quarterback and other players on that team? There was stories saying that they had to fucking walk single file in the fucking
We need an
hallway.
asshole.
He didn't
We
walk.
need
He's
him.
fucking treating these guys like fucking 10-year-olds. I can't
We
have a
need
guy
that.
as a coach that is fucking known around the league. He's an asshole to the fucking players. I can't have it.
So
He
then
had
why
that
did
as
he
the
get?
offensive
Then why
line
did
fucking coach.
They won game.
But
He turned the culture there.
why did he get multiple jobs then with Pittsburgh and now Minnesota?
Not
Not
as
to
the head
mention,
coach.
Petey,
Not as
he
the head
took that
coach.
team to the playoffs. He took that team.
Correct,
He
Jim.
took that team to the play. He took that team. I believe he took the team to the playoffs. They had winning seasons. Damn near every year he was the head coach.
Yeah,
But
With
but
Danny
you still have
Saleh.
he
he
plays
hurt.
football. It doesn't mean you
Not
like
every
the head
year.
coach.
So at
He
the
was
end of the
legit an
day,
asshole to his players.
one of the major complaints that I've been hearing from you guys is that there isn't discipline, there isn't accountability,
Right.
there's no culture, there's no structure, there's
I
no this,
can't
there's
have a
no
guy
that.
being an
There's
asshole
a
to the
guy,
players. I can't have it.
there's a guy that you could bring in that will bring a level of structure, a level of whatever into this building and change the way that this team plays.
Well,
Jim,
the
that's
players
You already
hated
have
him
an
and the
elite
way they
level
were treated.
defense.
I would
So
stick
You
with
already
the
have
Harden.
I say
you already
no.
have elite level talent on the defensive side of the football. He's an elite defensive mind.
First
We've
of
seen
all,
that.
hold on,
So
hold on,
He can
hold
stay a
on.
coordinator then.
First of all, the Dolphins never went to the playoffs with Brian
No, they
Flores.
didn't.
They had
all
one.
right. But hold on,
Wait.
Vince.
Can
He's
I
one
finish,
of
my
Petey?
he's
bad,
Can I
my
one
finish
bad.
my
They
five as
missed
a
point?
it by a game. My
coach.
fault.
Can I finish my point?
Yeah. Go ahead. But
And
we got
here's
to
the thing,
get to hands after
and
this.
everybody
This
is
is
right
getting
with
crazy.
saying about yes, Whittle. You're absolutely right. He has a good defensive mind. He can help. Blah 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 blah. Great. Who is coaching the offense? And that's the problem, okay? We did that just now with Robert Saleh. We went to the hot defensive coordinator who was moving to be a head coach. We did it. We just did it for 4 years. And then who do we do the interim? I know we weren't going to make hack at the interim.
Hey Vince,
Who, can I finish, please?
who?
Can I finish, please? Can I finish, please?
Y'all cut. Okay, all right.
Bro, I was agreeing with you, son. My bad.
So, and that's all I'm trying to say is that we've done it, and I get it. You can keep throwing out the best person on that side of the ball. But the fact of the matter is that he's not going to bring over somebody with elite offensive talent. He didn't in Miami. He will bring over his person, but it's not going to help out the offense. The offense is the problem with this team. As much as the defense has been a problem the past couple weeks, and I think it's a lot because Ulbrich is trying to do two things at once and not paying attention to the defense on this team, as much as we're pissed off at them for a lot of their mistakes, is not the problem. The offense is. The fact of the matter is that 3 guys are blocking 1 guy on the offensive line. We have drops. We have guys that don't know what route we're looking. We have guys that don't know what hole to hit, what route to run, where to throw the ball. That is the problem. So I am not going to sit here and hire another defensive guy. And again, he could be the best defensive coach out there. I'm not going to sit there and hire another defensive guy so that we can lose games instead of 35, 32, 10-9. And we did this for 4 years. Hire somebody with an offensive mind and see if that works. I'd rather win a shootout than lose a game that's 10-9.
So, does anybody know what Robert Saleh's head coaching record was prior to the Jets?
20-36.
No, his head coaching record.
He didn't. He
0
had
and
no. He
0.
had no.
Yeah, he didn't have one,
Right.
right? All right. So, have we seen Brian Flores as the head coach?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
24 and
Have we
25
seen?
with no
Vince,
playoff appearances.
don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me, Vince. Remember? Let me finish. So we have seen Brian Flores already. And again, this is not necessarily about, like, if you're trying to attract an offensive head coach who may be a first-time head coach coming over as a hot coordinator, or a guy who wants to establish himself again as an offensive mind head coach, is not going to come here and deal with Aaron Rodgers for a whole year, because that is a year that counts against his record as the head coach. So you go get a defensive guy who is going to solidify the defensive side of the football. You then go and get the offensive guy who may be inexperienced as an offensive coordinator, but he's done some great things as a pass game coordinator or a run game coordinator. You go out and get an offensive line coach that actually knows what the hell he's doing, and you bring those guys in and say, hey, Brian Flores, you're the head coach. Go get your guys, but this year we're not holding this year's offense against you, because based on salary cap and some of the shit that we did prior to you guys getting here, you got to deal with Aaron Rodgers. You got to deal with whatever we got on the offensive line. You got to deal with the remainder of Devontae Adams' contract. And who knows? It may work out with those motherfuckers that have an extra year together. You make some draft picks in the trenches and solidify that offensive line for real, instead of putting these band-aids together through free agency with these old ass players who weren't successful in Baltimore. You brought them over, and now all of a sudden you expect them to just gel without any snaps in the offseason together. No snaps in the offseason together, and injury concerns, when you can just go get young guys. You can go get some young guys, stick those guys together, have them play the preseason, have them play in mini camp together, have them play, and you may struggle early. But I mean, what the hell? You struggling now, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Whittle, you're talking
Get
about
yourself
a
in the right
guy who
direction.
you're talking about a guy, and I again, I'm not disagreeing with you entirely, but you're also talking about a guy who, in 3 years as the Miami head coach, went 24-25. Okay, I
Which is
understand.
way big.
Vince,
And he
But
was
when
a
he
they
took
jerk
on
had
off
the
to his
no
Jets,
talent.
players.
Vince,
But what?
Vince, Devontae Parker was their wide receiver one. Mike Gesicki was their tight end, and he does not block at all. And they had Tua, he had Tua, which he didn't want. He wanted Justin Herbert, and they drafted Tua. So it's not a situation of he failed because the offense, because he didn't know what to do with the offense. He didn't want the fucking quarterback, and they went over his head and took the quarterback that they wanted, not the one that he knew was going to be he wanted for his team.
it's actually a good point.
So come on,
As much as I
give,
don't
give
like
the guy
agreeing
a
with
chance
Whittle
where you actually get
sometimes,
to
I
select
agree with
his
that.
own player.
Yeah, guys, real quick, and I'm apologizing for this franchise, man. You've been waiting. I don't know if you're on the West Coast, but it's really early. But come in here. I'm sorry for you waiting, man. It's a little hot in here. Did you fall asleep on me?
No, I'm right here, man. I'm good.
All right, good. Go ahead, man. Sorry
So
about that.
no, it's okay. I'm just listening. Good morning, everybody. It's an
Kicker,
interesting
I'll get you up, Kicker.
it's
Go
an
ahead, man.
interesting
Sorry about that.
conversation. For me, I don't know that Brian Flores moves the needle for me. We see the record 24-25. One of the other things about his tenure in Miami, I think he had 3 different offensive coordinators. He changed the coaching staff every offseason, right? He changed the coaches around every offseason for whatever reason. So I don't know that a Brian Flores, he's got a great defensive scheme. I don't know that he brings the continuity that you're looking for if you're looking to rebuild. For me, I think you got 2 options. I think you go Vrabel or you go young offensive mind. In both scenarios, though, I don't know that Aaron Rodgers works in either scenario. I got to be honest, I don't see Aaron Rodgers coming back after this season, right? And so I think I agree with what Whittle's saying in terms of the process you got to take, but I think you bump it up a year, right? You don't want to hamstring yourself for a 41, 42-year-old guy that's kind of flaky,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of playing below average anyway, right? So you got to send a message to him like, man, we tried it, whatever. We're going to try to transition and worry about the future of our franchise. I think you're not going to have a great record this year. I think you go quarterback in the first round if you can. I think you go quarterback in the second round if you can. I think you try to show up your offensive line. But I think as far as the coaching goes, to me, it's either Vrabel if you want to go defense, or my opinion would be go get a young offensive mind. But to do that, to Whittle's point, you got to get 8 out of there. He can't be the quarterback with a young coach. That's not going to work. So you got to decide what you want to do. And I think for me, I would if I was the front office, I would act in the best interest of the franchise, right, and try to prepare the future.
Thank you.
And the Will McDonald point, really quickly, a guy typically that's a stand-up pass rusher that's not great against the run. Another term that's a pure pass rusher, right? Situational implies that he's a rotational player, right, which doesn't seem like he is. So it would be a pure pass rusher, right? A guy that's a pass rusher that's not great against the run, pure pass rusher, as opposed to situational.
But at the end of the day, you're gonna put him in there on 3rd and long. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put him in there when you feel like it's advantageous, right? Like
Can I
The
ask it? Wait,
situation is
wait,
passed.
June and Farside. Let me ask you
Talk to
something.
me.
I know it's one game, but didn't the Jets? I'm going to be technical here. Didn't they put Hassan Reddick in situational pass
Yeah, he's a
rushing
situational
down?
pass rusher.
Yeah, but he
Right,
was on a
but
but he was on a snap
right,
count.
correct, Jar. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know with all this technicalities now. Guys, man, this is enough already.
I mean, this is just.
I'm just so spent, man, from
I mean,
this.
Petey. To be fair,
That's
I
a
mean,
little
this
bit
is. I
different
mean,
because he
this
hasn't
is. I
played,
mean,
so they're going to treat him
Yes,
situationally
yes.
first.
But
What'd you
I'm
say,
being.
Jared?
Go ahead, Jarek.
no, I was about to say like these terminologies in a way have always kind of existed. Like premier. The reason why we say premier pass rusher is because they're constantly winning. They're like it's not just they're just getting sacks and increasing their numbers. They're dominating tackles or whether if you're playing in the whether if you're inside or you're playing outside, they're constantly winning reps, right, and applying pressure, right. Situational pass rushers, like yes, they can, like yes, you want them to come in, yes, they can beat whoever's they're guarding them, but they may not even have a high win rate at particular moments. but you want them in that particular situation because their best skill set is
Pass
for
rushing.
that situation.
Rushing the passing. Yeah.
Yeah, but why are we talking about Will McDonald? He's the only bright spot this year.
No. That was some with me and Tyreek. Like
No,
no one's
Jones
talking about
brought that
trading.
up.
No one's talking about trading him. No one's talking.
No, I'm just saying. I don't even know why we're talking about him. He's the only bright spot.
Yeah, he
Him
is.
and DJ Reed have been on the
I know, but
defense.
I only said that because people are talking about get as much draft capital as possible.
Right.
And if you want to talk about it, he will probably bring us the most in draft capital. If you want to be completely honest, the
Nah,
season ended.
not Will
Nah, you
McDonald,
you
bro.
you
No.
can't trade the only good young players you got. You want to trade
Jones,
one?
I usually
I get
agree
it.
with you, but
So let me ask,
Right,
if I can,
sauces.
I want to pose a question, Petey, if you don't mind, because I asked this yesterday when the space was closing. Speaking about draft
uh,
capital,
yeah.
and you know what I'm going to ask, and I think it's
Yes.
important.
Vince, can you just wait on that until we get to the hands, and then I want to get into that. Can you wait
Yes,
like
I'm
five
sorry,
minutes?
I can't see any hands on my end.
Don't
Sorry.
worry. Well, Vince, do me a favor. Stay here. I'll call on you. Just Joe, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Good morning,
Sorry,
June.
Morning,
sorry
brother.
about the wait, man.
Don't worry about it. Anytime. I appreciate that.
Hold on, kick in,
um,
Vino. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
just give me a minute here. I know everybody. They love Vrabel, right? I saw something that I completely blew my mind. I didn't even realize it. Do we all know that Todd Downing and Keith Carter were coaches on his coaching staff
Yes. Yes, we do.
in Tennessee?
Yes.
Like, I mean, do we trust him to kind of pick the right coaches and pick the right players? I mean, he had a generational running back in Derrick Henry, right? And they played good defense. I mean, they didn't really do much with Tannehill. If you remember when they did go to the AFC Championship game, Tannehill threw for 90 yards in both games, right? It was mostly Derrick Henry, but you know, I'm moving on, boys. I'm moving on from Rodgers next year. I'm moving on for Devontae Adams. I'm completely stripping it down.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm building around Olu at left tackle. I'm building around Pittman at center. Okay, I'm building around Braylon Allen and Garrett Wilson on offense. On defense, I'm building around McDonald, JJ, Quincy, and Quinton Williams, and Sherwood. And then for me, next year, your starting quarterback is probably Tyrod Taylor going into the season, and either the rookie quarterback that you draft this year and Jordan Travis. That's 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 my plan. I don't know how anybody else feels.
So Rogers is gone.
Rodgers is gone.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is
Yes.
gone. I'm getting rid of trading Brees Hall for what I can get for him, and
Yes.
I've unfortunately I've had it with Sauce Gardner, but depending, I'm not paying the guy 25 to $30 million.
Okay.
I'm not
Why?
paying him.
If you're not paying a QB, why?
I'm
No,
not.
no, no, you can't.
I-
That was
I'm
my
not paying.
point today, but I'm gonna throw a tidbit here, Jarek. I got over talked about it, so I'm gonna sit this one out.
I'm
But
not paying. I'm not paying Sauce 25 to
but
30.
okay,
Did we see how he played? He's regressing. How he played in New England. I'm sick and tired of him
Jim,
always
Joe,
blaming the safety.
let me ask you a question. With your scenario, you're excited for that for next year then?
Dude,
Because I want to throw up.
I've been excited the last two
No,
seasons.
no,
He
no.
got my
Okay,
heart
but your
broken.
scenario, Tyrod Taylor is your starting quarterback. You got if you're able to get rid of the guys you want to get rid of, like the
Yeah.
Jets lead the league in wasting seasons. Next year's a wasted season, like right off the bat.
This year's a wasted season. Last
Yeah,
year was a
yeah,
wasted
but you
season.
didn't go
If we're
into
gonna
this.
waste the
Hold on a
season,
second.
at least
Wait a second.
do it correctly.
Did you go into this year thinking we were going to waste the season? There's no way.
No, I didn't think the
Okay,
last two
so
seasons.
okay, but next year, if you're telling me Tyrod Taylor's the starting quarterback, that's supposed to get fans excited.
If you're telling me it's a complete rebuild with a correct coaching staff, then yes, I'm on
Well,
board.
I would just Jim and Joe. I would just then, if that's the
Just
case,
play
if
a
it's,
rookie.
I would just play Jordan Travis. If that's if
Exactly. At
every
least I'll be more
listen,
excited for that.
I all right. I am not Joe. Don't get me wrong here. I still have to think because this is going to be the talk for the rest of the year, especially if the Jets don't. They're going to win games, guys, and people are going to come in here and be angry that they're winning because they're
Yeah.
messing up the
I wouldn't
tank.
be
I'm
shocked
number
if they.
one.
I wouldn't be shocked if they won Thursday with both those receivers out. But I mean,
Okay, that's my point, though, Joe. They're gonna jet. They're gonna win a game that they're not supposed to, and then we're gonna be arguing. Fans are gonna be. Do you think these guys want to lose? Do you think
no.
DJ Reed wants to play like shit so he loses $3 million a
Yeah, but
year in free
Petey, that's
agency?
every year though, Petey. Listen,
Yes, I know that,
the Jets
Jim.
had 2 top 5 quarterbacks, and we spit the bit on them. Like, listen, we get the 3rd pick, the 13th pick, the 20th pick. It doesn't matter. Like, the Jets gonna win games. They'll whatever draft. I know people are gonna go ape shit. Listen, we lost out on Trevor Lawrence. What's Trevor Lawrence? He's not generational. He's good. So like everybody goes ape shit. Oh, Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence. He's just a good quarterback. He's not fucking anything special. So like, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, Jets gonna win games. Like, again, I'm an older guy. I don't give a fuck if they go fucking, if they want, if they losing out the last game of the season matters between pick number 1 and 5. Yeah, I want the Jets to fucking lose, and if they
Yep.
win that, you're pissed off. But
Yep.
other than that, yeah, they're gonna go fucking 6-11, 7-10 again. So whatever it is, it is.
I'm with you, Jim. Look,
Now everybody wants to be quiet. I get interrupted. Now
look.
everybody fucking wants to be quiet.
AP.
Wait, let's get to the hands. By the way, I made Vince a co-host. Vince, you're up in the
First time,
spot.
first
For,
time this has ever happened to me. I'm
for
so excited.
Vince, first time, maybe last time, as Mike Francesa would say.
Congratulations, Vince.
Yeah,
I
Congratulations,
Vince.
brother.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Vince. I want this question after these hands are up. And guys, I appreciate you all coming into space. We're on YouTube Live right now, streaming at Jets Commute. If you can subscribe, please do. If you want to listen to the space, and look at it from the video aspect, you can. And we're coming out with shorts and everything. So please subscribe and support. Thanks. Hargs and then Vezo. I'll get you guys up. J. Mick, Kickin, and Cook. Go ahead. Hargs. Hello, Hargs.
He went back to
He
listening.
dropped. All
Vezo,
right.
what's up, brother?
Yo, what's
Vez,
going on? Yo,
what's up?
so I heard Widow say earlier, Brian Flores. I don't think that that's a horrible option.
I like
Neither
Because
do I.
it a
all
lot.
things considered, because I think he's done a good job, with Minnesota, considering like they've had players pass away, they've had plenty of injuries. Like I think he's done a solid job, and he got hired by that coaching staff. He got hired by Pittsburgh, so clearly those good coaching staffs see something in him. So I don't think he wouldn't be at the top of my list, but I don't think he would just be like doom and gloom, like what the hell are we doing? Because I think the next step for us, we can't just skip, you know, going 500, making the playoffs, making a run in the playoffs and then going to the Super Bowl. We need to take it in baby steps, right? I think we need to focus on let's get to 500 first and become consistent, and then we can start focusing on the Super Bowl. Like we can't skip it like how we tried to do past 2 years. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and the other thing was, I've brought this up in CV space before. I never really understand the dialogue that everyone is so willing and so quick to want to pay Garrett Wilson, but when they
Thank
say,
you.
"Oh, I don't want to pay, I don't want to pay Sauce Gardner 25 to 30 million," well, that's what Garrett Wilson is going to make,
Thank
and
you.
he's not, and Sauce has been proven to be way more consistent as a pro, right, as a leader than Garrett Wilson has. I'm
Thank
just being
you.
real.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So and now I don't think that it's not a stupid idea if you say, hey, I'd rather keep Garrett Wilson than Sauce, but it just seems like that's just the general consensus. Like, oh yeah, let's just keep Garrett Wilson. Let's just trade Sauce because he sucks. It's like, well, what the hell are y'all watching with Garrett Wilson that makes you want to keep him for
Yo,
for 5 6
Vez.
years?
Vez,
And I
I
think the
love it.
word
I love it,
sucks.
Vez. I love it,
And I really
Vez.
think the word sucks is very overrated when it comes to Sauce too. I mean, he's had a down year, but when you want to talk, and I agree about not maybe paying him the top corner rate, but if you want to talk about some of the
Hey, bro,
top,
you a Yankees fan, bro. Why you talking
Come
so much
on, man.
like
Come
Kick
that,
him,
on.
bro?
man. Stop,
Come on,
man.
bro.
Please stop. I let you up here,
Come
please.
on, don't do it. Not now. I'm a
Vince,
Yankee
go ahead,
fan too,
man.
bro. Don't do it.
By the way, since we're on the Yankees, Vince,
We're
you
not on the
know,
Yankees. We're not on the Yankees. Go
yeah,
ahead,
no,
continue, Vince.
boy,
yeah,
but
Don't.
no, it's true
we
though
need to
because
have an Aaron Judge conversation. But
yeah,
go ahead.
that's a space that can go on for a while, but no, it's true though because I just feel like Sauce has played poorly, and I think his tackling has been It wasn't as shown in the past couple of years. That's one of the big things too. Is that I think a lot of guys didn't go after him, so he didn't really have to tackle as much. This year, they're going after him, forcing him to tackle, and he can't set. And on the edge, he looks horrible tackling. But it's crazy to think about. Sauce Gardner's had a bad year in comparison to 2 All-Pro years, and he should not get paid the most out of any corner in the NFL. But let me tell you this: if you're talking about still a premier corner, it's still Sauce Gardner. He's not an elite corner, but a premier corner, a guy that you feel that is not a liability for a full game. I still think he's there.
I'm curious too that just around the
It's a
room.
good point, Vince.
Do you guys think if Rex Ryan was the defensive coordinator, do you think Sauce wouldn't be following the best receiver every
Yes, he
single
would
week?
be following. Absolutely,
Yes.
will be
Okay,
following.
I just want to make
It's a
sure we're on the same
different
page.
defense, though, Vezo. To be
But
It's a
that,
fair,
different
but
scheme.
exactly, and this is why I said that Garrett Wilson is more valuable, because Garrett Wilson's more versatile. Garrett Wilson can line up in the slot, he can line up out wide, and he can win. He can win against any matchup. I always
Not
talk about
any.
this.
Whoa! You can't say he
Well,
can't. You
again,
can't say he can
no.
win against any
June,
matchup.
June,
he
June,
can.
June.
I mean,
June. I watched the replay against New England, and their defense is not trash. And bro, that dude does some routes that are
it's insane.
crazy,
But
Like
he
bro.
was
he
winning
knows how to
against
get open.
he was winning against the number 2. That's the point I'm trying to make.
So what? That's not well. So then, whoever's
No,
winning
If
against the
but we
opposite
can't
of
really.
listen,
Sauce,
No,
what?
we
listen.
can't say that though.
God.
June, he was
Before
beating Pat Surtain and Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson couldn't get on the same page. But he was beating him on reps, not getting catches. He doesn't necessarily have to get a catch, but he was getting separation against Pat Surtain, who's arguably the best corner in the league right now.
he wasn't running the right routes with against that game. He wasn't running. I'm sorry. He was not. That's not. He wasn't running the right route. He wasn't running the route the way it was supposed to be
June,
run.
I'm gonna do an isolation with me and you against
Yeah,
Garrett
you know
Wilson,
what?
man.
We're gonna talk
This is wild,
after the
bro.
space. We're gonna talk.
Right.
Nah.
Listen,
I want to do
he's
it on
not
here.
elite. Is what I'm saying. And Vez, he hit it on right. Like to sit there and just beat Garrett for what?
He
All
doesn't.
right, hold
But
on,
he
June. Wait. Jarek, answer this question: who's more elite right now, Sauce Gardner or Garrett Wilson?
right now, Wilson. Right now,
Correct.
as of
I
right now,
agree.
I'm not saying. I'm
1,000.
not saying
Okay.
Yes.
overall.
Uh,
I'm just saying
now,
who's
No. Oh,
who's
right.
been
As
better.
of right now,
now, let me ask you this question: going forward, what's more important on the Jets, finding the quarterback or paying Garrett Wilson?
June.
Finding
If
the
you find the
quarterback.
wait. Yes,
The
Finding the
finding
quarterback.
the
quarterback.
quarterback. But hold on, June. If you find the quarterback that you draft, you do not have to pay him. That's why Cincinnati loaded up with. They got Chase. They got Higgins. All this stuff. You didn't have
But
to pay Burrow right away.
Pete, this is my point. If
But
you
you don't have to pay a
it,
quarterback.
it
That's
gonna
the point too.
if you're gonna pay Garrett quarterback, what's the
Yeah.
$1 million fucking wide receiver?
To June's point, to June's point, and I'll say this with the Bengals, they didn't pay. I mean, Joe Burrow was drafted, right? Like T Higgins and Joe Burrow were drafted in the same class,
Correct.
Right.
and then next
Fair.
year was Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 50-50, right? With Garrett Wilson, you're solidifying that, hey, like this is a special weapon. Now you're paying him $25-30 million. You don't have to really pay the quarterback. So again, if you want to look at the long-term wise, what's the better investment? You can say that, hey, obviously drafting would be the better investment long-term wise for at
Thank you.
least 4 to 5 years compared to you paying Wilson and then still even having the quarterback.
Don't have a fucking
Yeah,
quarterback.
I think too. Look, I think too. If you look at some of the college
That's
football
crazy. Y'all
receivers right
turning
now,
on Aaron Rodgers like that.
look,
I'm
if you
not.
That's crazy
I know,
about
kicker.
y'all.
if you look
A
at some of
lot
the
of
college
y'all,
football receivers right
a
now,
lot of
Wait,
y'all
wait,
You
wait,
was
wait,
hear
wait.
really.
Vezo, bro?
Vez, go ahead, Vez.
yeah.
My bad. He cut me off though, but I got you. Go ahead.
No. He was
He was
kicker.
still
I don't
talking.
think you can hear him. Come back. I'll
No,
get you
no.
right up.
No. I can hear him. I
Oh,
can
all
hear him.
right.
Go ahead, Vez.
All right, real quick. No, I'm just saying, if you look at some of the college football wide receivers right now, it's so many good ones, dude. Like, so many good ones. I mean, like, you got Luther Burden from Missouri. You got McMillan from Arizona. You got that Ryan
Travis
Williams
Hunter.
kid. Yeah, I mean, like, it's
I don't think
so
Travis is
many
an elite
good ones.
receiver. He's an elite corner. I think he's an elite corner. That's a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. But I'm just saying, there's so many options. I don't think there's really, like, elite corners coming out every year like Surtain and, like, sauce. I just don't think so. But
Right.
receiver, I absolutely do think so.
Right.
Yeah. So Vance, basically what you're saying is that you can find a wide receiver before you can find a quarterback, which is my point.
Yeah, for sure. Look at the Ravens, right? Kicker. You look, they got Zay Flowers at the end of round 1. I would say he's better than Garrett Wilson.
Absolutely,
He's been more productive.
which is my point.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to the coaching, as we were talking about. If we hire a defensive-minded coach, Sauce is going to be the one to stay. If we hire an offensive-minded coach, Garrett will be the one to stay. I think that's
All
pretty
right.
simple in that regard.
Speaking of staying, I want the speakers to stay. Hogs, you dropped and came back. You were next, and then I'll get to J Mick.
Hey,
Sorry.
more than
Hogs, do you want to blow this up completely, Hogs, and just start over again, and have 2,000 and change rookie snaps again,
Yeah,
and go 4-13? Do you want that?
yeah, Petey, blow it up.
If it's built the right
Yeah, you
way.
got to
But go
do it.
ahead,
Yeah,
Hard.
so like last night, I'm not feeling 100%, but
Is he
last night I
talking?
was listening to the NFL Stock Exchange podcast with Connor Rogers
Yeah, he's
and
Hello.
talking.
Oh, I
Yes,
can't
June,
hear him.
he's talking. Come
I
back,
got
June.
let me drop.
I was listening last night to the Stock Exchange podcast last night, and it was rebuilding the
Mm-hmm.
Jets and just blowing it up, right, and different moves and things like that. They made such great points where it's like you need a president or a head of football operations, and the scary thing is, guys, is I don't think Woody Johnson is ever going to do it. You need someone in here.
Hogs, I agree.
You
Hogs, they're not going to, I don't think he's going to do it neither. I think
no,
they're going to run it back.
and the problem is, Petey, is that if Woody Johnson doesn't relinquish control, at least to the football side of things, like you know what I mean, who's going to want to take this job at that point? And that's a big problem.
Yeah,
Like
Hogs.
they
Go ahead.
mentioned two guys last night that I would love to be back in this. One guy, Pete Carroll. If
Mm-hmm.
you make Pete Carroll the head of football operations, you need to surround this team with winning. And the Jets don't win. It is a culture of losing. It is a losing epitome. Now, granted, I understand the players want to win, right? Players don't want to lose. But it's a losing culture. So you need to bring in people into this organization who have experienced winning for a long period of time. A guy like Pete Carroll, even make a case a guy like John Dorsey from he's now a personnel guy with the Lions. You need to reset everything here. It has to be.
Thank
You have
you.
to bring in a winning culture. You have to
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have
because the culture of this team right now is dog shit. There's no culture,
Yeah, I agree. There
and
isn't.
no, and it just you
Is
have to go.
June
You have to go.
talking?
You have to strip this down to the studs. You know what I mean?
thank you.
This is like you know what it is? It's like I even hate to make this analogy, I want to say it. It's like a house after a hurricane, right? If it's sustains like a category 4, category 5 hurricane. You have to bring this down to the studs, down to the little existence of a house possible. You have to rebuild this thing from the ground up. And I got to tell you, next year is probably gonna be worse than this year, right? But you have to start
All right,
somewhere.
Hogs, real quick, because Spot Track tweeted something out at 8:59 this morning. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers has a $49 million dead cap and a $23.5 million cap hit with the Jets in 2025. If either side decides to move on, New York Jets can designate him a post June 1st release or retirement, taking hits of $14 million in 2025 and $35 million in 2026.
Okay, you got to rip the band-aid off, bro. You have
You
to
you
do it.
you, you got to do it, Petey.
You got to
Listen,
do it.
when you
That's
as
not awful.
it's
It's
not
not.
it's not awful, and B, you have to you have to realize here we have to bite the bullet here, right? We keep on. I know it's the all around the league now. It's all about dead cap years and pushing the cap out, and I understand the salary cap keeps going up year after year after year. You have to bite the bullet. And I'll be honest, if I'm a Jets fan, as a Jets fan, if you tell me, listen, we're going to bring in a guy like Pete Carroll, we're going to start to bring in a winning culture into this franchise who has not won in decades. If you tell me that and you say it's going to be a process here, guys, it's not going to be pretty. I can accept that.
But
you have to start
Hargs is
somewhere.
a 74-year-old man that we fired 20, almost 30 years ago going to come here?
I tell you though, Petey, I don't know, but it's worth a phone call.
I know
Hargs, I have
one
a
thing.
question for you.
Todd Monken not coming to
Hargs, I have a
y'all, so
question
y'all
for
can
you
get
about
him
the
out
culture.
y'all. Y'all can get
No,
y'all out his mind right now.
well,
Todd Monken ain't coming to the Jets.
if they pay him enough money, he'll come
Hargs, I
kick
have
it.
a
Hey,
question
bro,
about the
y'all
culture.
can pay him a lot of money. He ain't coming.
What do you say, Jim? And then I want to get to the hand. Guys, we're up against the hour here at 10
I have a
o'clock. There's
question.
I
13
know, bro.
minutes.
I have a
bro.
question for Hargs about the culture. What was the culture under Rex Ryan when he was here? Okay, the culture was different with Rex, and I'll tell you why. So, and they said this on the podcast last night. So this is not my own thoughts. This is from the podcast, and it was done really well. When Rex was brought in here, Rex had players from Mangini, right? Who
Yes.
drafted
Yes.
really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mangini was not a great coach, but he knew talent. He
Yes.
knew how to draft guys, right?
Okay.
Absolutely.
So when Rex came in here, the culture that he built, he was boisterous, he was loud, right? And that was something that we have not experienced as a Jets fan in some time. So the culture that Rex brought in, it seemed to be he was more of a smash mouth in your face type of a coach and a personality. So that was the culture that he embodied,
Came from
and
Baltimore. That's
that went
why.
to the team.
Okay,
But the culture,
but
but right
was it?
now there's no culture with this
But
team.
was it?
If you bring a guy like Pete Carroll, a
Wait,
guy
wait a
who has
second. Wait,
won
hold on.
from
Yeah, but
college to the pros, then we
Hey,
start
Petey, why you
somewhere.
keep letting Jim cut that man
Shut
off,
the
yo? I
fuck
saw
up,
Jim.
you low life.
Yo,
Man.
stop.
Yo, cool
Wow.
that, man.
Jim, man, you can't be doing that, Jim.
See, that's why I don't like him, bro.
But Kika, listen, don't tell me how to run my space, though. Guys, this isn't fucking high school. Jesus Christ. It's football talk. Unbelievable, man. Maybe I should just end the space. Is it even worth doing it sometimes? Honestly. It's fucking football talk. As I'm twiddling my thumbs right now, enjoying the bird sounds. Hello,
Well, thank
June. How are
you.
you?
Yeah, it's my birds. How you doing, brother?
I just can't believe this shit, man.
Let's get back in. We're up against the hour. We got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually, June, I'm texting my high school teachers. I want to see what they think about the feedback of how I need high school education again on it's ridiculous, man. I don't need people to tell me how to run a space, whether you're a speaker, a listener, somebody else. I could do it.
I
Okay?
I I want to see what Buckeye question is.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Buckeye, what's up? Buckeye.
Petey, can I just finish
sorry,
my point? Because
it's the delayed mute.
I
It,
had a legit question for Hargs until I was interrupted.
Go ahead.
You lucky this ain't
Hargs,
real high school, cause I come
how
see.
come?
Oh man. Well, go ahead, man. Finish your question.
I don't, is it me or Jim?
You.
Yeah.
Here's my question. We're stuck on this rebuild, right? Retool,
Let him
rebuild.
finish his question.
Yeah, nobody's talking besides Buckeye. Go ahead.
I can't hear Buckeye.
All right.
I'll
Just
drop
let
down. I'll drop down.
Let me
no,
drop.
Buckeye stay. June, you
Okay.
drop.
We're stuck on this retool rebuild. So Petey, look, you go to every game at home, right?
Yep.
Do you care if we're losing in close games or we're losing in blowouts? Like, do you care? Is losing? Because like we have an all-in roster and we are looking at being a top 5 pick. This is this is what I
do
say
care
about
of how we lose, Buckeye, to be fair. Yes.
you
If
do.
it's a close game, I want to enjoy the game. I don't want to be sitting there, in the third quarter ready to leave. I don't.
I can't tell
go
you how
ahead.
to feel. I can't tell you how to feel, but I'll say this season feels maybe one of the most miserable of all the seasons because
It
the
is.
expectations and hope was there. So I think this whole notion of rebuild, and June said this, if we're losing with profile players, and we are losing and losing consistently, that strip it down to the studs thing. And if we're going to come away with almost the same fucking record, right? 5 wins instead of 6 or 3 wins instead of 7 or whatever it is, it's all losing. The question is, at one point, you've got to build a sustainable model. And what we built here, we didn't build a sustainable model. We got a bunch of 1-year contracts. And again, I was in for this. I believed in this. I thought this was going to work. And even up until this last game, I thought because the AFC is just built like mediocre, I still thought there was a place to hang around. That just left the building though, because this team's not trying. So I don't care about the names of the jerseys on the back. I care about having football players that are playing at a level of that they want to be on that field because they want to play football. Even, I know this name is going to sound weird, but even for a brief moment, I felt like Jamal Adams was a football player. And then when he became the Prez, it left the building too. But I want to get back to football players, not names on the back of the jerseys and social media and all the rest. And I think that's what's missing. And I think it starts with that coach. And if we don't get the coach right and we don't give the keys to that coach, we need that. I said this to you yesterday. We need that Dolan thing where he just exits right and he gets his Tibbs, he gets his Rose, and voila, the organization and the stink leaves the building. The owner doesn't have to leave the building. He just has to give it over.
Yeah. It happened with Dolan with the Rangers, and I know you're a Buckeye. You're a Islander fan, but Dolan stayed out of the Rangers, and they fixed it. Rangers are a sustainable. They win, even though they don't. Even though the Rangers don't. Go ahead.
No,
Vince,
look at let's bring into football. Look at the Commanders. The Commanders had a sell off this year. They an actual group of sports owners. The Commanders going to be my second team because they also own the Devils, that owner group. But that's a side note.
That's true. Vince, I don't like you right now. Between you and Buckeye, Devils and Islanders, Kenny, you too.
You're the best team out of all of us. But anyway, but it's true though. Even it's funny when you get a stench out. They sold the Commanders this past offseason. They're 6-2. I mean, I understand they had a.
Vince, do you think it would have been different though with Ben Johnson? It could have been not as good as this.
100%.
Maybe they're overachieving.
And that's the other thing too about it is they have a young team, a young quarterback, and they brought in 2 guys who have been head coaches before. Dan Quinn and Kingsbury, 2 guys who have been coaches, and that's the thing that Jets don't do. The last time that they brought in a coach that's been a coach was Adam fucking Gase.
Adam fucking Gase,
and he's horrible to begin with.
It all starts at the top, guys. It all starts
guys.
there.
Let's just move on here. J. Mick, you've been waiting. Kenny and Justin to close this out. What's up, J. Mick?
Good morning, PD and June. I would have joined yesterday, but I had a dentist appointment, so I just didn't get a chance to join. But I was listening yesterday too. I just got 2 points. I mean, 1 point's about the game and 1 point's about the draft. The game, I said it on Friday when I was in here. I said that y'all should run the ball because that's what Jacksonville and the Texans did to us. We couldn't stop the run. I feel like you didn't run the ball enough. I mean, because I obviously I watched the game and then you look at the stats, and I mean, Brees was averaging 5 yards a carry. So I mean, and I get it, he's a smaller back and all that, but like to me, my team has shown the ability not to stop the run the last month. And I feel as if y'all just didn't run the ball enough. And I think if y'all would have run the ball enough, y'all would have won the game. And then the other part about the game was, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like when Drake May went out, like I didn't think we had a chance because I didn't see Jacoby play for 4 to 5 weeks. Um, and so some of the throws that Jacoby was making in that second half, he wasn't making those kind of throws the first month of the season. So that's why I was kind of surprised that he led the team on a game-winning drive or whatever. But that's besides the point. I mean, but I also feel like the Patriots they kind of had to have that win because what the coach said about the team being soft. Like if they don't win that game, our locker room is pretty much done. And so go to the whole, your coach and the culture and all that stuff that y'all been talking about for weeks. And then secondly, about the draft, this is not the year that you want to draft a quarterback. So I mean, like, I'm,
Exactly.
I'm a college guy, so I follow college. Like I'm a Georgia fan, so I'm deep in the college stuff. This is not the year. Last year was the year you wanted to draft a quarterback, not this year. This year there's like maybe 2 or 3 guys, and the rest of the guys are kind of like they're kind of like, they might be good, they might not, and I don't know that you want to take that kind of risk. Now the 2026 draft, that's the draft you want to draft a quarterback because I mean, guys, I mean, the guys like you got guys like Archie Manning, who like everybody loves, and
J
so
Mick, did you hear my points earlier? Like, if they're going to blow everything up, I would just play Jordan Travis next year,
But
and then you got the draft capital again that year, and you're in the top 3.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, yeah,
But
Jordan,
now, you know what? My argument to that is you're right. It is maybe 2 or 3 quarterbacks. So you know what? You use your draft capital to move up and snatch one of those 1 or 2 to 3
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
but we
but then you're starting all over again. You
But you
already
have to
started
start,
over with Travis.
Pete. You will
No, I
have
but I
to.
agree.
think the
You will
point
have
I'm
to
trying to
start all
make is
over.
like
Go
is
ahead, J Mick.
so the point I'm trying to make is the draft last year, like you had guys like Caleb and Daniels and May and Pet, like you had more than just 1 or 2 guys, and like these guys are shown to be that they're good. Next year, like everybody loves Cam Ward. Like I'm not even like Cam Ward. He's got the ability, but for me, it's I mean, for him, it's what's above the shoulders. Like I don't like some of the stuff, some of the ends that he has on the field. Like I don't know if that's really going to work in the league. And like, I mean, he's a really talented player, so it could work. But I'm not as certain as I was about Caleb and Jake.
J Mick, he gets easily fooled by split coverage.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, so it's just I mean it's that, and then like sometimes when he's scrambling, he has this like laissez-faire attitude on the field, and I just don't know if you're playing with grown men with families and making millions, if that kind of laissez-faire attitude is going to work. I just don't know,
and
and that's my issue.
let's also talk about who Miami has played this year too. He hasn't gone up against an elite defense the entire season.
What are
Now
they, number
he's a
5,
competitor.
Vince?
He's
I
a,
mean,
he's a
he's going to
competitor.
see Clemson in the ACC championship game, so he's going to see a legit defense at
He
some point.
hasn't though
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah,
Though is what
he's
I'm
gonna
saying.
get
True,
and he will,
Cam Moore,
and he's gonna struggle. I'm
but
telling he is going to struggle in that game.
he's gonna
well,
be a
yeah, I mean,
top
he's
pick,
going to be a
guys.
Of
top 10
course,
pick. I mean,
Him and
for
Shador
sure, yeah,
Sanders are fighting to be the top quarterback pick.
yeah, they're top
yeah.
2. Then I think it's everybody else.
Exactly.
I
Yep.
mean, but
Got J Mick. Can I just get to Kenny and
sure, yeah,
James
sure.
because I gotta close, man. J Mick, appreciate you as always, bro.
All right, thanks, appreciate it.
You got it. Kenny, go ahead, and then Justin, close us.
What's up, guys? Listen,
What's
this
up?
team, it's just obviously the wheels have come off, and there's no turning back now. They got to start rebuilding right now because they're in salary cap hell. The only way they're going to make this team right is draft picks and hitting on the draft. We thought we hit on a draft a couple of years ago, but some of these players have really regressed. So we're up Shit's Creek without power right now. I thought the mistake the Jets made was there's to get somebody in here to run this operation. The perfect guy. I don't know if he would have came here, but would have been Jim Harbaugh. That would have been the perfect guy to get in here. But he's with the Chargers now. We missed the boat there. I'm not sure if he would have came here because he's not an East Coast guy. Supposedly, his wife likes it out there in California. But I don't know where we're gonna go from here. This team is just brutal. There's no turning back now. You have to start unloading players for draft capital. You got to build from the draft. Free
Thank
agency
you.
hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. We are not gonna compete minimum 3 to 5 years minimum because you still got Mahomes, you still got Allen, you got other quarterbacks up on the rise. We don't have a quarterback of the future right now. This quick
Thank you.
fix is not working. We're trying to stick a finger in a dam. Was I on board with Rogers? Yes. The basically anything I was on board with, but it's not working. So now you got to rip it apart now. The season's
Thank
over.
you.
Next year's over. The only reason, listen, and Woody, with your fucking tickets, it's not going to work, man. I can't believe the amount of people I heard from that are unloading their season tickets, and I might be one of
Yep.
them. As of right now, I might be one of them because.
Kenny,
Could
did
you
you get
still
a
hear me,
call?
Petey?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
could
a
you hear me,
call.
Petey? Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yep.
Yeah, we
good.
got you.
So yeah. So here's the deal. I know a lot of people out there. Oh, I'm going to lose my PSL money. They're going to lose. You're not going to lose your PSL money. You know why? Here's what my PSL cost me. I paid 4,000 a seat. 4,000. That's $8,000. And I basically, if I decide to walk away, that 8,000's gone. It's a bad investment. It's like the fucking stock market. You made a bad investment. It's $8,000. Not a lot of money to me, but basically, I could recoup that 8,000. You know why? Because if I don't pay for my tickets next year, I'm saving 4,000. My seats are for 2 seats with the parking. It's like $4,000. The following year, I don't pay. Boom, I don't got to pay that now. So there's my 8,000 back. Knowing that I can walk into that stadium any game I want for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. I could walk in. So that's where you get your money back. Just don't fucking pay it. And I don't want to hear people saying, "Oh, well, yeah, it's a business." It's just fucking ruining our fucking lives sometimes with this shit. Like J Mick said he was in the dentist chair yesterday. I was in the fucking dentist chair Sunday, every Sunday, with no Novocaine watching these games. It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm
You know,
sorry, man.
Yeah, Kenny, we'll get it. We'll get into the ticket thing because I'm really mad at the Jets too for that. But
Yeah, and
and
guys, if you any listen, Petey, I just want to plug the Jet Lounge tomorrow night. I'm not sure what guests coming through, but everybody welcome.
Hey, Kenny, we'll definitely be there, Ken. You already know that.
Appreciate it, guys.
yes, Tamini was on
Petey,
last week.
Petey,
Awesome job last week.
Give me a
Yep,
call later. I might be around for lunch if
you
you
got
can
it,
make
man.
it. All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks for lunch. Stick with me, kid. I'll have you eating like this every day. Justin, go ahead.
Hey, Justin,
Yo,
what's up, man?
man, Kenny kind of stole my thunder, and I was gonna comment on what homie earlier was saying about the podcast, bro. I think he said something where he would rather have a down season where there's like a little bit of optimism in the season, knowing that this is good for the long run, than have a down season where you expect it to win the championship. And I kind of agree with
Thank
that, bro.
you.
Like it for a complete rebuild and a true rebuild, what you guys probably need to do, you're gonna have to expect a down season or two, just because you have to get through the cap ramifications, and then you have to get the draft class that you like, right? So I mean, like Jim said, you can't keep putting a band-aid on this, bro. Like
Thank
you
you.
have you got to tear it down, and you got to build some optimism within the team going into the next season, kind of like how we did in 2017, went 9-7. 2018 we went 6-10. And then we went what, like 10 wins after that season. Like you're gonna have to expect a down season or two to get where you want to go for the
Yep.
long
But
term.
you guys finally got it right, bro. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah, and we
drafted
finally got
Josh
it right.
Allen.
But the issue was, for the 17 years that we didn't get it right, Petey, we kept trying
Yep.
to bandage everything.
Yeah.
We kept trying to do a quick fix,
Yep.
and that
And
shit
we
wasn't working.
and Justin, we had rosters that literally could be. I'm not gonna say that they were Super Bowl caliber rosters, but they were playoff level rosters, and
Yeah,
we
bro.
just
Like we
couldn't do
we
it.
we literally had a receiving core with Lee Evans, Terrell Owens, and Stevie Johnson, and we didn't do
Jesus
shit with
Christ.
that. And that's a good ass receiving core, bro. Like Terrell Owens was near the end of his prime. Lee Evans was a burner, and Stevie Johnson's the first Bills receiver in history to get 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Like we had a good receiving core. We had talent. We had Fred Jackson, right? We had good running backs. We had
We had
Marshawn
three
Lynch.
All Pros on the defensive line for 2 straight years.
Exactly.
Three All Pros.
And we didn't do shit with that because we kept trying to do the quick fix. Like you gotta tear it down, man.
Tear
You
it
gotta
down.
start over. You got to start over. You got to get your draft capital. You got to get the cap space right. And this is better for the long term.
I'm
You're,
telling
you're
you.
doing this for long term, not just now.
Thank you. Tear
I
it
mean, but I get
All
what
fucking
right.
you're
down.
saying.
Well, so
All
the thing,
right, guys.
like what
Good.
Pete's saying though, like I get it because I'm going through it right now. Like winning 3 and 4 games a season is not. That's just not fun. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. It's not. So, but it's something that you got to do. So, I mean, I do agree with it
Yeah,
though.
but J Mick, they just did it. They just did
But
it.
they did it wrong, Petey. They did it wrong.
Yeah,
They didn't have the
and
right
I
people in
get
the front office.
no,
You got to do it the right
because
way.
trust me, like because I mean I get your pain. We won 4 games last year. We're on track to win another 3, 4 games this year. But I mean, yeah, I mean, but we're building through the draft and it's looking a
Correct.
little bit better. It's just, I mean, there's just no easy way to get better in this league. Like
J Mick, but
it's
I
a long
think you
process.
guys found the quarterback. I've seen samples of May. I'm not going to say I watched him, like eye to eye, like consistently, but you guys got the right guy.
I mean, but
Now
we're also
is
lucky though.
Gerard Mayo the right guy? I don't know. We don't
Gerard Mayo
know.
being the right guy, I don't know, but we got lucky because a lot of times when you draft third and the 2 teams in front of you draft quarterbacks, it doesn't end up well for you. But I mean, we just were in a lucky year where
That's
there
a
was a
good
lot of good
point.
quarterbacks. That's all.
Guys, I'm up against the hour. I stayed open a little bit late. Guys, Vince, appreciate you. Don't know if you'll be in the same spot again, but
I wasn't
thank you
that
so
bad.
much.
Shit.
No, you didn't get June. That's Vince. That's not that. That's Vince. I didn't dish you once. We didn't go at it. You didn't even get to ask your
All
question.
good.
So keep holding on to
I
that.
got you.
June, as always, thank you, Buckeye. Mark wasn't here today, but we'll continue this during the week. There's a game Thursday. We got to talk about the game somehow. We didn't talk once about the Texans. I see Randy down there, Brittany, Kenny, certified ACL, Nikki, Chris, my brother,
Tear it down.
Eddie Limage. What up, Eddie? Who else is in here? Let me see who's in here. Sad Jet Calendar's in here. Hector. Shout out to all the people, that came into space today. Have a great day, guys.
Wait. My closing words. Hold on now. I'm not gonna say fuck the Bills. I'm not even gonna say fuck the Jets. Tear it down. Tear it down. Do the right thing, Woody. Tear this shit down.
Good day, guys.